radar is sharp. It's one long moving, all the lights are out. So watch your step and look ahead. Remember what that old man said. Failure is the aftermath of doubt. I can feel a change is coming in the air. I can feel the revolution now. I can feel the change is coming in the air. I can feel the revolution now. I am gonna see again, and I am gonna feel again, and we're not gonna take this anymore. We won't take this anymore. I am gonna see again, and I am gonna feel again, and we're not gonna take this anymore. We won't take this Hey, what are we waiting for? We've come too far to let this go. Always on the outside looking.
A letter in support. Dear Judge Wenzel, I've known Nick Rekieta professionally and personally since 2022. Nick created an entirely new type of entertainment covering legal battles on YouTube that was wildly successful. Oh, bullshit. That he created it?
Well,
He created the content?
I did a boo-boo
I object to that.
and
I object
hurt
to that. My
myself
channel goes as far back as
while I
Nick's
was
does.
trying to get things set
And
up
if we
here.
want to go to the OG, it's got to
that was
be
good.
Lawful Masses. It's got to be Leonard French, who was the first. But yeah, he created it. Bullshit. He created. He might have gotten it. He might have popularized it. He might have been at times the most successful.
Well, let's start over here. Oh my goodness. Yeah. It feels pretty good as long as I have it in water. It's when I take it out of water that I'm having problems. I guess it's just the fact that there's something cold on it, maybe. Now I'm entirely sure that I will be able to do this because I'll practically be trying to do it one-handed, and that's not good. But I thought while we were doing this, we would listen to Unsolal do his breakdown here. So I gotta thing here that I can put my finger on every once in a while. But, He's talking about Nick's case here.
Here is a letter in support. Dear Judge Wenzel, I've known Nick Rekieta professionally and personally since 2022. Nick created an entirely new type of entertainment covering legal battles on YouTube that was wildly successful.
Attempting to do some word burning.
Bullshit. That he created it? He
I hurt
created
myself
the content?
pretty fucking bad.
I object to that.
We'll see how this goes.
I object to that. My channel goes as far back as Nick's does. And if we want to go to the OG,
it's surprising to me because
it's got to be Lawful Masses. It's got to be Leonard French, who was the first.
See, I thought we had always kind of given.
Yeah, he created
Nick
it.
Rekieta
Bullshit. He created. He might have
props for
he might have
creating
gotten it. He might have popularized it. He might have been at times the most successful, but he created it. Bullshit. I object. His commitment to his work and love of law drove him to be one of the most successful law channels on YouTube, drawing hundreds of thousands of people to engage in legal discussions. Is that what people were doing? Engaging in legal discussions on his chat? I'm not sure about that. I've seen his chat. I'm not sure legal discussions is how I'd characterize it. But, you know, okay. All right. Let's see. Nick's unique style of covering trial from gavel to gavel with humor, legal analysis, and irreverence led to multiple law channels gaining notoriety and popularity. Holy shit, he's literally taking credit for me. He's literally doing I created you. Holy shit.
He's done that for a while.
Shit. I created you. I created you. Wow.
Well, and in all respect.
Wow.
Megan's the one
Epic.
that's saying I created you.
Is it too late for me to write a letter? Does the government need me to write a letter? I mean, he's not supposed to be sentenced till tomorrow, right? Is it too late for me to write a letter? This is some bullshit. Call me if you need me to write a letter, government. I'm here. Oh, Lord. The law became approachable for the average person through Nick's invention. I am going to be sick. Several channels became successful because of his model. An entire community known as LawTube grew out of Nick's influence. Okay, so not only is he taking credit for it, he's also taking credit for the term LawTube, a term that he repeatedly rejected and wanted nothing to do with. Outstanding. This led to many people becoming interested in law, going to law school, becoming lawyers, making lifelong friends with who shared interests in legal battles, and changed the trajectory of many lives for the better, including mine. My channel was positively impacted by Nick's unique approach to online entertainment and his direct advice and help. Like the vast majority of lawyers, Nick struggled with substance abuse. I don't think this is the vast majority of lawyers. I do agree that lawyers have a higher than normal rate, but I'm not sure it's the majority of lawyers. And I'm also not sure it's the vast majority of lawyers who struggle with substance abuse. But, you know, maybe I'm off on that one. This is a well-known and studied problem for the legal profession. It's so widespread that every bar association has programming lawyers for substance abuse problems. Well, maybe Nick should have taken advantage of one of those programs. Maybe that would have been nice. The stress of quickly attaining fame and fortune is often a catalyst for substance abuse that's also widely acknowledged. Yeah, but he came from money, though. So it wasn't the money. Nick's meteoric rise to success no doubt played a role in his mistakes. We're doing affluenza. We're doing because I'm special because I'm successful. That's neat. That's an interesting angle. Nick acknowledged he broke the law. I'm not really sure that that's even necessarily true. He pled guilty, but given some of the things he said online, even since then, I'm not really sure, strictly speaking, he can be said to have acknowledged it.
Yeah.
But, you know, Nick acknowledged that he broke the laws, taking responsibility for it by pleading guilty to possession. The community and his family would not be served by his incarceration, but be served by his rehabilitation and his ability to get back the job he loves, explaining the law to his audience while entertaining them and supporting his family. In the years I've known Nick, I've known him to be generous with his time and helpful to anyone who wanted to know how to be successful on YouTube. He has a genuine desire to help others and has helped me on many occasions, whether it was to give me advice about my channel or just be a friend and listen when I need someone to talk to. Nick is loyal, kind, empathetic, smart, and passionate about his work. He is a good friend, and good friends are rare. Okay. I've also witnessed Nick's interaction with his children and know they love him deeply and they share a loving, light-hearted banter that only loved children have with their parent. I will give him that much. I visited him at his house, and I saw him be very good to his children when I visited them. So, at least at the time I visited him, he was a good father, and he had a good family and seemed to be working relatively well. So, that I will give him that much. That much is true. It is unmistakable that they love him and he loved them. Being a present father is important to Nick. Nick is also the main caregiver to his children, responsible for all their transportation to school events and classes. His children would not be served by a separation from their father, and the state should not take a father from their children unless he's a danger to society as the last option. Nick Rekieta is only capable of being a danger to himself, and I believe he'll recover and make better choices. I'm not sure about that either, but okay. This is Nick's first offense against the law. I believe he can recover, and the community should invest him and help him doing that. Everyone deserves a second chance. Many other people have completed diversionary programs and recovered their lives. It's my belief that Nick can recover his life and thrive after this unfortunate episode, in which I remain hopeful as a temporary setback in an otherwise amazing career and future. I hope this court sees the man I know and not the one gossiped about for chief laps or the persona fighting back against the gossip publicly. Okay, that sentence is the most telling sentence ever. So even this person, Megan Fox, even she subtly acknowledges that in his public statements, since he's pled guilty, has been less than, let's say, fully accepting of his criminal responsibility. Even she has to admit that much, right? But it's not him, Your Honor. It's the persona. It's the persona that's gone online and said all kinds of things that might be viewed as not accepting responsibility. It's just the persona, Your Honor, really him, really the person. He fully accepts responsibility in every way. He has done nothing but accept responsibility in every way. It's just that unfortunate persona online that has gone forward and said things that could be potentially viewed as not fully accepting responsibility in the deepest possible sense. It's the unfortunate persona. I like that even she has to acknowledge that some of the statements online have been less than fully that's fun and exciting. I hope this court sees the man I know and not the one gossiped about for cheap laughs or the persona fighting back against the gossip. The Nick I know is a man who loves his family, helps those around him, makes mistakes, and then inspires others to be good humans. Nick is also deeply remorseful of any harm or pain he's caused to his children and family. He may not discuss it publicly, but privately he's devastated. Okay, sure. Many times Nick used his platform to raise money for audience members in need by advertising their GoFundMe accounts. Nightly, is that what he talks about for the charity? Is that what he's doing? Is that the charity he's raised hundreds of thousands of dollars for? Is he referring to GoFundMes that he took notice of, and so that's the charity he's raised millions and millions of dollars for? Interesting. Okay. All right. I mean, that's a take, I suppose. All right. Nightly, he would talk to them about their struggles, including thoughts of self-harm, and he always encouraged them to find something to smile about and try again. I've heard from many individuals who told me Nick Rekieta saved my life after reaching out to Nick in a dark time and finding someone who cared to respond. Incidentally, and not for nothing, when I tried to reach out to Nick, back when we were still on speaking terms, but when I tried to reach out to Nick, I found him very, very hard to reach. So, Just saying. I pray this court will honor the plea agreement in this case and refer Nick Rekieta to probation. Sincerely, Megan Fox, author / journalist, also Baldo Washer. All right, what else do we have in terms of letters? Your Honor, I'm writing today to put in some good words for Nick and Kayla. Oftentimes in such situations such as this, the bad is amplified and the good goes under the radar. First and foremost, I want to sing their praises as parents. As been evident throughout this entire time and before, the kids have been thriving. They're healthy, smart, engaged, talented, polite, active, and participatory in church and other activities. Again, this was true at least at the time I saw him and his family. So I have no reason to doubt this much is true. You know, for his many, many sins, I have seen Nick be a good father, personally. And I will give him that credit. You know, I can't necessarily speak to what happened when I wasn't there, but I'll speak to what I saw. And I saw him be a good, caring, loving father who took care of his children, took care of their activities, drove them places, and all the rest of it. So I will give him that much. He deserves that much because it's true, at least from what I observed. Christian, who goes full-time to CCS, is in his junior and straight A student and a member of the National Honor Society. He also participates in drama, band, and debate. Avery and Sylvia go to CCS part-time and are also straight A students. They're also in drama as well as band and or choir. Audrey and Cecilia recently started taking Spanish classes at CCS. Except for Christian, the others are all homeschooled to some degree and advancing well. Christian was homeschooled until he was accepted into CCS for his sophomore year. Avery also plays both JV and varsity soccer. While he's the smallest player on the team, he also has one of the biggest hearts and always gives his best. Aww. All the kids take piano and violin, while the girls also take dance lessons. Sylvia takes 4 disciplines, Audrey 3, and Cecilia 2. These are extracurricular. While all these activities, both in and out of school, Nick and Kayla provide yeoman's work, getting them to and from school, sports, and activities. He does live in the middle of ass nowhere. And so I have no problem believing that he has to drive a lot, because he lives in the middle of ass nowhere, and things getting to places probably takes a long time. So he probably spends a lot of time in the car. I believe that. Plus, with the 5 kids, getting them to their various activities probably is a lot. One wonders where Kayla is apparently in all this picture, by the way, because why is Nick always the one apparently doing all the driving and stuff? But I digress. All the kids and piano. Okay, we read that part. There were times where he did a lot of driving while they're separated from the kids, and we putting in 100+ miles someday. Every time we heard Krista Barber speak of the kids, she marveled at their intelligence, their talent, and engagement and politeness. All the kids are loving and respectful and cognizant of the feeling of others. Again, that matches what I observed. Their kids' ability in school and as they progress through a homeschool curriculum is a testament to Kayla's dedication and involvement in their growth. Nick and Kayla also have helped family members. When they've been asked to loan them money, they readily did so. I should correct myself. They didn't actually loan them money, they gave it to them. Then you're not speaking contemporaneously. Why didn't you just edit the letter? They loaned it. No, what I meant is they gifted it. Why didn't you just edit it? Do you not know that you can edit the written word? I'm confused. They never asked for repayment. They've always been there for Kayla's siblings and their families as they navigated through tough patches in their lives. They've treated Dan and Sherry to trips in Hawaii and Florida, as well as provide support during other family trips. During family camp at Lake Beauty Bible Camp, Nick and Kayla rent one of the large dormitory-style cabins and invite the entire family to stay. A couple years ago, also mistyped, when CCS was short of money and needed parents to be responsible to provide costumes for kids in the school play, Nick and Kayla anonymously stepped up and provided the necessary funds so no one had to pay. Well, that's nice. In addition, Nick and Kayla are regular supporters of Make-A-Wish Minnesota and the Minnesota Zoo in the Apple Valley. They've been active in their church community. The kids go Wednesday night activities at New London Faith Covenant Church every week. Christian and Avery go to Bible Sunday study Sunday evenings. They've also participated in other church-related activities throughout the year. They participate in overnight weekend Christian-themed outings, and Christian has gone to mission trips both in and out of the country. When Nick decided to go to law school, he had to drive to William Mitchell twice a week. He'd drive to class on Mondays, drive to our house to spend the night, drive to class on Tuesday, and then drive back to Spicer. He would repeat the same drive for Thursday class. All this while Kayla supported him by holding down the fort at home with kids. Their dedication to getting him through school was impressive. It made us proud when he passed the bar on his first attempt and was subsequently sworn in. Once, Nick did a short video on his YouTube channel. He responded to a question where he's asked what his best moment as a lawyer was. He talked about how a woman he knew was involved in a custody battle with her ex-husband. Many times the child's weekends were with the dad. He'd come home with bruises. Other lawyers he had tried to sever the father's custody and failed. Nick was able to get it done and get the child out of the hostile environment. Okay. That's the son I know. That's the daughter-in-law I know. Regardless of their personal situation, they look out for others, their kids, their family, their friends, and that divorced mother who just wants a good life for their son. Sincerely, Robert Rekieta. Well, that's nice from Dad. I appreciate that. All right, and then we have a letter from Kayla, which I believe is our last letter for the day. Dear Judge Wenzel, I'm writing today regarding Nicholas Rekieta from case number 34CR24341. Interesting referring to him by full name, incidentally, rather than saying my husband or something, but I digress. I know there's a lot of information out there due to his internet presence, so I thought it might be beneficial to hear from someone who actually knows the man and not just the character from the show. Nicholas has been my best friend, life partner, and husband for the past 20 years. He's the father to our 5 amazing children. He is and has been the kind of man who will stop what he's working on personally to help the people around him who are struggling. When our nanny quit suddenly in the middle of our school year, he became one of the main drivers getting the kids to and from where they need to go for all their activities. Also, incidentally, why Kayla isn't doing this also a little bit unclear, but I digress. The kids take a mix of homeschool classes and classes at CCS. They all take violin and piano lessons. Our 5 boys are in speech. 2 kids play soccer. Our girls take dance classes. And all 5 kids are involved in church activities twice a week. Not counting extra trips to the doctor and dentist appointments, we leave our house to drive the kids to class and activities 4 to 12 times a day, depending on the day. I believe that. I believe that. A lot of driving. I believe it. There are even days that 2 drivers are necessary at the same time to bring kids to different places. Nicholas has been my rock, helping give our kids all the opportunities they can have. I could not raise our kids without the same diligence without him. In addition to him helping me with the endless driving, he's our main chef. He cooks almost all our meals, including the 11 p.m. request from our 17-year-old. It's fun to watch his skills and creativity. So Nick does the vast majority of the driving. Nick does the cooking. Again, what does Kayla do in this relationship? Unclear. Unclear. But Nick is a good person. At least he's a good father. I'll give him that much, man. He's a good father. This accords with my own understanding. He is, to the best of my understanding, and based on my own personal observations, the person who is the most present parent in this relationship. He is the person who does the driving. He is the person who does the cooking. This tracks my personal understanding. So, whatever it can be said for Kayla is another story. But, as to Nick, he's a good father. He takes care of his kids. And they seem to be thriving, despite whatever problems he has. So, there's that. And no one can take that away from him. So, fair enough. The kids and I are not only members who benefited from his generous heart. Several of my siblings, other family members, friends, and church acquaintances have all been helped financially without hesitation, without demand for repayment. He's used his online presence to help other people raise money that was needed in their lives for problems. His heart shines through in those times. I know my husband's made mistakes and broke the law. Also, you did, incidentally. You just got your, didn't have to plead guilty, but you also broke the law. But he was just that, a mistake. Please give him the opportunity to show you his integrity. He's a good man. He fights for freedom and free speech, and that bothers some people. They're trying to take away his voice. Please don't let them. Thank you for taking the time to read my letter. Sincerely, Kayla Ricada. Well, that was exciting and fun.
A powerful storm system is set to impact the United States over the next few days, and this will bring some big problems, including the return of
I mean, that
significant
was
severe
interesting
weather.
to see someone give pushback to the idea
Here is a
that
letter in support.
Nick didn't really deserve some of the credit that it seems like everyone is always giving him. So that was interesting. So let's see what else we can watch here. Trapped voices? Okay, let's see what this is all about.
Hi everyone, and welcome to another episode of Mr. Carlson's Lab. Today I've got a very neat video to share with all of you. Somebody's voice is trapped within this wire, this hair-thin wire, and it could go back possibly as far as the 1940s. Today,
Basically what
we're
they're
going
saying.
to extract that voice from this wire and hear what they have to say. Let's get started. Here's a closer look at the two reels of wire. To give you an example of how this was stored, this was screwed down into a wooden box with this slack left in the stainless wire here. And I'm very glad I noticed that because this is very hard to see. I've got light kind of glinting on it here just a little bit so you can kind of see the shimmer as I move the wire around. It's a very, very thin wire. And of course, if I was to just pull this tight, that would be the end of it. So I need to be super, super careful here. Somebody was nice enough to put some tape on here. Looks like just standard tape with a little relief on it. I guess to stop this wire from unwinding. I can imagine if this was removed, it'd probably do this and be its own issue there. Hopefully it doesn't leave any residue on the wire. If it does, I'll be cleaning that with some solvent before anything happens here. So that's basically what this is. I would say, around the size of a human hair, maybe a little thicker. It's extremely thin stuff. So it should be a lot of fun to try and extract whatever is on this. Now I've got a bunch of old junk wire recorders out in the shop. They're all in various states of disrepair, so I'll go grab one that looks the nicest out of the lot and we'll patch it up, put this thing on there and see if we can hear what's on these reels. Very heavy. There it is. A Pierce wire recorder. Feels like it's filled with bricks. It's heavy. Very, very heavy. Got the back side here. Cord's just tied up. So what do you think the chances are of this thing working? I can tell you, pretty slim. Looks like it's definitely seen better days. So this is where the reels of stainless wire would go. This is the head. And these shafts here, these are little locks that lock into those spools so that the spools don't spin freely on the shaft. Usually you can just pull the spool forward and they'll pop right off of these things. This head's neat. Now this is one of the mechanisms that definitely needs to work. And if you ever pick one of these things up, if you know that you've got a good set of, I guess spools with stainless wire on it with no brakes, you definitely want to make sure that this thing works right. This thing needs to move in and out as these turn. So it has to go in and out. So that way what it does is as the actual stainless wire is moving along, it basically takes the stainless wire and brings it along the pulley like this so it all doesn't bunch up in one area. So this has to work. So if this doesn't work in this machine, I'll definitely have to, pull the whole thing apart and get that working first. These little clips usually come off. They do. There's one, and this one here. So you just lay the wire through here. So I'll get you a little closer to this so you can actually see what's going on. And move you up here. So you lay the wire through this, and then once the wire is through this, you can hold the wire down, and then you pop these little clips back on. So you just put the little clip back on, and it holds the wire inside there. And of course, keeps everything in order so that the wire doesn't pop off when you stop it or rewind it or do whatever. So that's what those are for. So I may as well just leave those off because I'm going to have to put that in. So, look at this. Lots of crust on this thing. So, Department of Psychology. I find that a lot of these things are from departments of psychology. I don't know whether Pierce had something to do with, you know, institutions or teaching institutions, but most of these things have got, you know, psychology written on them. So kind of interesting. So down here, focus down here we have a switch. It says record, so I need to be very careful I don't do that by accident. So there's no lockout, so I don't know this particular machine if it would just start recording or not. It might need something in here, like a mic, you know, with a push to talk or something like that for this to work. So there's stop, rewind, and listen, and that's what we're interested in right here is listen. I imagine this is probably a recording light. Most of these had a little neon bulb for that. Looks like a timer. So, yeah, definitely. Switches on each end. Very common. So, I guess what really has to happen now is I need to plug this thing into my current limited isolation transformer and variac supply, and let's see if this thing even spins. Let's see if anything happens. If not, we'll go inside and patch the thing up so that we can find out what's on those reels. All right, let's get rid of that line cord here. A little restraint for the cord. Looks like the cord may have been added in. I see 2 pins in here, so somebody down the road has put this cord on it. So it's been a replacement. Okay, so what I'll do is plug this into the isolation transformer and current limited variac supply back here. Like so. And let's take a look at what's going to happen here. What do you think, smoke? Let's find out. So it is in listen. So what I'll do is I'll turn the supply on right now. I don't know which is on or off. Nope, that's not it. That is it. Okay, so that's off. Turn this on. All right, are you ready? Here we go. Let's find out what happens. Oh, I hear a motor spinning. Nothing's happening. Those are turning. You hear that motor spinning? I don't know if you can. Just move the mic down here. Speaker is just absolutely quiet. Gain. Yeah, it's just nothing there. So I think the indicator light is still on. If it is, it's pretty dim. It looks like it's on. It is on. Little jewel light on the bottom there. Let's turn this thing around. I don't smell anything. That's a good thing. Oh, tubes are lighting up in there. There seems to be 3. So I think this looks like another one over here. So probably some behind here. I imagine they probably did this. It looks like it's in a pocket here to maybe stop. There's obviously going to be pulleys and stuff up in here, maybe to stop the heat of the tube from getting trapped in here and maybe drying things up. I don't know, just an absolute guess at this point because it looks like it's kind of ducted out like this. So on the bottom here, I did notice that it says here, when removing back, lift upwards to clear the tubes. Disconnect the power before removing, obviously. Look at that. Pretty light down in there. You can see that. Move the focus down just a touch. There it is. So there's 3 tubes in there. Looks like a rectifier tube. And 2 other tubes here of some sort. So, I guess now would be the time to open it up and find out why those aren't spinning. So, shut that down, remove this. It's completely isolated anyways. When that switch is off, everything is off, so no problems there. So what do you think? Let's find out. And lift, and so what do we got? Well, there's a good reason why nothing's moving. Look at these belts. Well, there's one problem. These things here look like they're as hard as they are as hard as a rock. I wonder if these are going to even spin these. It's supposed to be rubber. Listen to that, it's like plastic. This one here isn't as hard. Yeah, it's pretty hard. So far, that's what we're looking at. So the motor's on the bottom. Well, the good thing is the motor is spinning. Move some of these screws out of the way here. The motor is spinning, we heard that. Yeah, it spins pretty freely too. Oh, there are the 2 tubes here. All right, so there's a tube here as well. And it looks like it's actually stood off the chassis. Let's move the focus up here a touch. It's stood off the chassis a little bit here, maybe for vibration reasons. Obviously, those are as hard as a rock, those rubber insulators or isolators on there, so that is just...
Can't believe I accidentally touched
shock
it.
absorption there. Probably because of the motors and everything on the chassis. They don't want any buzzing or humming to get in there. What is that? 6SQ7? Looks like it. The structure inside looks like it. I think that's a 6SQ7. One of these things over here. Let's move down here just a touch. Zoom in. So that's not too bad. What do we got going on here? No, 6V6. What's this one here? Oh, another one. This one is quite a bit hotter. And the rectifier tube. Okay. What do we got here? 5x3 or something like that. 5x4. 5x3. There we go. So, no problems. All right. So, put these all back in. Boy, that's nice and firm in there. Yeah, 6SQ7. Detector. It's a detector and an audio amplifier. So 2 diodes and a triode in that one. This one here. 6SJ7. Interesting. Pentode. I wonder what they're doing with this. Well, I'm going to have to look through my library and see if I can find a schematic and go from there. Let's take a look in behind, see what we can see. Maybe we can see anything. I might need to get a separate light to get inside here so that we can see what's going on behind. Lots of waxy goodness there. I can see the wax cap back there. Ah, this flashlight will work. Hopefully it's not too bright. Yeah, lots of waxy goodness back there. Look at that.
This sort of thing, it's always
Another
fascinating.
big capacitor right here. Just move it over here so it doesn't defocus. A big capacitor back in there. Yeah, that's on this side here. Oh, we got a plug that runs up to the top side there. And let's see if we can see anything else in here while we're at it. Probably not. It's not, at least with me not dropping this thing. Boy, that's heavy, this thing. Wow. Big transformer in there, big heavy motor. Look at the size of that motor. You know? Well, when my furnace motor quits, I'll have a spare. Kidding, of course. Not that big, but it's pretty big. some relays here. And it looks like there's another one on the top. Let's move you up here so you can see that. So a relay here, and a relay down here. Those wheels here look like they're in actually really good condition, but they're as hard as a rock, these things. They look like look at that. That looks like it's in really nice condition, doesn't it? That's as hard as a rock. And I mean hard, like that feels like a solid plastic piece, that thing. So I don't know how that's gonna work. Might have to do something with that. And this one here looks really good too, but the rubber on this is just a little bit softer. I can actually put my fingernail into that just a little bit. Now usually these things get flat spots on them. Look at that, they're all just turning just fine. And it is actually, oh, it's a little bit of slippage there. I thought I saw. Yeah, you can see that. Right. I don't know how this is gonna work. So what do you think we gotta do here to get this thing working? We need belts. What are we gonna do to patch this for now? You know what? I'll go get a bag of rubber
Before
bands.
I can touch
Let's
this
try that.
thing or do anything with it, I
One
gotta
can
let it
never have
cool.
too many rubber bands. As you can see, I have many. So this should
Just to be
get the
extra
thing
safe, I'm gonna
turning.
unplug it as well.
So I just want to find two that are relatively stretchy, something like that. That'll probably work. So I can find another one like that. I think we will be good to go. So the ones that were on there were they look like O-rings actually. They look like really big O-rings. And I imagine I could probably try to source some O-rings. That looks like it might be the same one. They are the same, look at that. All right, let's try these two out and see what happens. Move you over here. They had O-rings on here, obviously. So they use those as belts. Now to find an O-ring that big would be kind of interesting. Looks like maybe an oil filter housing type O-ring or something like that. Look at that. One only. It's doing it with one.
That
let's
is so
put
cool.
two on, and we should definitely have some success when this is going. I think that's going to work great. Rubber bands saved the day again. Okay, I'll get this whole thing plugged in and turned around, and let's see what happens. See if those two shafts on the front actually spin and if the head moves in and out. All right, let's see if this moves. Actually, I'll turn these like so, and then that way it makes this a little easier to see with these little tabs spinning like so, right? All right, this is still on, and I'll turn on my isolation transformer, current limited variac supply. So let's see what happens. Here we go. So we'll rewind. Oh, looks like that's working. You can tell, you see how hard those wheels are in there. If that was soft rubber on those wheels, that wouldn't be making that bump, bump, bump noise. Okay,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
listen. So
looking
now
like
here's
he's
the
gonna
big
get
thing. When
this
we hit
working
listen,
again. That's pretty cool.
we should be able to see this thing move in and out here. Now, of course, this one is the, should be driving at that point. So here we go. All right, look at that.
That's fascinating.
Boy, is that ever noisy. Some rubber renew might actually work for that. Probably because there's a mild flat spot on it. The rubber bands are working. And I'll put it into rewind. There it is. So yeah, most likely flat spots or something like that, right? And of course, again, they're as hard as a rock. But it's enough that we might actually be able to listen to this thing. So, who knows? The speaker is absolutely silent. Like, there is just nothing coming out of this speaker. And obviously, 6v6s are the power tubes. So let's see. Let's take a look at these things a little closer and see what's going on. So I'll just put this back to stop. Let's see. Yeah, that's filament warm. And this one here is filament warm as well. So when these things have anode, the B plus on the anode, they get quite a bit hotter when they're actually working. This feels like when just the cathode lights up in the center, they hardly get warm at all. And this is hardly warm at all.
Huh.
So it almost feels like there is no B plus. Like this one is a little warmer than average on the sides here. This one is just almost cold. Like, I mean, it's just lukewarm. So there must be some B plus because this one here is a lot cooler than this one, and they're the same tube, and this is actually starting to get relatively hot now. So, I don't know what's going on. Yeah. And that speaker is just silent. Like, there is absolutely nothing coming out of that speaker. Let's see if the outlet 6SQ7 is lit up as well. And of course, this is just cold. And that's cold. This is probably the coldest one here. It's like as warm as the chassis. So who knows? All right. Well, at least we're on the way. You know what I should do is go dig up a schematic and see what these things actually do. I'll see if I can find one. I did have a nice copy of a schematic for this thing in my files.
wow.
Usually when I get an old device like this, I spend some time and hunt down the schematic and put it in a file. So one day whenever I go about restoring something like this and sharing the process with you, I'm usually prepared. And thankfully, I did find one way, way, way back when. In fact, I actually think I have the original manual for this thing as well. So anyways, two 6V6s. So this one here drives the audio transformer, and this one here is for recording purpose. So that's these two tubes right here. Which one does which? Unknown at this point. We'd have to remove the bottom and find out. The 6SJ7 and the 6SQ7 are the two tubes that are in this far corner here. So this is the metal one. That would be this first tube here. And the glass one here is the second one, the 6SQ7. So this is basically just an audio amplifier circuit, a single-ended audio amp.
Amazing
right
he
here.
was able to
That's all
find
this
a
is doing.
schematic for something
So
that
it
old.
looks like this is going to, you know, they're using a pentode, which
That's
is this
pretty
tube
cool.
right here, in the front end in order to get some pretty extreme gain. So probably attached to, you know, a microphone of some sort, maybe with a push-to-talk button or something on it like that. And, you know, just audio preamplifier stage right here with a volume control on it. This looks like a tone control. This is probably the tone control right here. The 5Y3 rectifier is this one right here, and that's in the power supply. So the motor looks like it's just driven off the AC line, so it'll be a fixed speed. And what else? This is a relatively simple circuit. You know, we have an erase head, humbucking, and sound. So this is the head circuit right here. And of course, as you can see, this is switched into this section right here. And the line usually indicates a core here, connection between these. So relatively simple circuit, very, very simple circuit. Oh, and here's the neon bulb right over here, right in the audio amplifier circuit, right off of, so the B plus line is here, and this is connected to, outside here, on here, right? So obviously probably to let you know either modulation or something is clipping or something like that. Very simple circuit. So, yeah, very little heat in these two tubes, and these two here are lukewarm. So that kind of tells me that usually these tubes, you can't touch them. Like these two tubes here. These two tubes are so hot, you can't even put your finger on it. If you did, you'd really know it. These things are crazy hot. And same with the rectifier tube. Preamplifier tubes like this usually get, relatively hot, but nothing like power tubes like this. These things here, when they're in service and they're working properly, you can't put a finger on them. They're that incredibly hot. So, obviously low B plus or something in this unit. So we'll see what we can do. We'll see if we can get this thing working without having to, tamper with it too much, and see if we can listen to this. So what I'll do is I'll go get those reels and put them on the front and see if we can hear any sound in this thing. See if
I
anything
bet we'll be
changes
able to
when
hear
we
some
do that.
sound.
Again, it's pretty quiet, so I think there's probably something going on under the chassis here. All right, let's put those reels on. So I got these two little clips here. Open these up. I have to be really careful with this wire. I don't snag it on anything. Now, there's a 50-50 chance that this reel should be there and this reel should be here. but we'll try it out anyways and see what happens. So I'm holding the wire up here, as you can see. Let's put this
Looks
on
like
here so.
normal fishing wire.
Lock that in. Lock that in. So it looks like I'll probably be able to do this. Be able just to put some tension on that. Just a little bit of tension right there. And that'll hold it all in the head. Put these little clips on.
Well, at least, I mean,
Wires from
it's at
popping
least
out.
as thin as fishing.
Okay, so I've got this tape on here now. That
For fishing, I
hopefully
think they
didn't
actually
leave
use
any
different
residue
material.
from whoever put this on here.
I don't know. I don't fish. I don't know anything about electricity.
Felt like it
Watching.
may have had a bit of sticky stuff on here. No, not too bad. It felt like it might have left something, so I gotta go to the other side here and see if I can get this piece off. Hopefully this one does the same. Yeah, that one came off relatively easy. So I think at this point, just about tripping over cords here. I think at this point, that should probably be good. So everything is on, it's locked, it's in there. It's on stop. Well, here's the moment of truth. We'll turn this thing on.
Here we
Suction
go.
transformer,
Moment of truth.
top-loaded variac supply. So the gain is wide open. Maybe as well turn the tone up, see if anything happens. And here we go. Well, it is working. But of course nothing is coming out of the speaker, it's just silent. You can see that, hopefully you can. Obviously not tracking too well with the way the wire was put on there, but I expect that. Okay, so we're this far here. Now the speaker is just silent. There is absolutely nothing coming out of this, which makes me really wonder if there is B+ issues. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab my ultra probe and I'm going to listen around in here and maybe we can hear something with the ultra probe and that'll give us a better idea of what's going on. I'll just go grab that and be right back. Okay, let's see what
What
we've
is
got
it?
going
Ultra.
on
Oh,
here.
so that's an ultra probe, huh?
I'll turn this on first. Okay, that should be enough. Give it some gain.
It's
See
like
what
a
we can
white
hear.
box
Okay,
that
so
reminds
here
me
we
of
go.
those ghost hunter things that they use.
So it's hearing.
What? That sounds like evil.
It's actually mechanical noise. That's the sound of the stainless wire moving through the head. You can actually hear the knocking noises. It's listening to the. It's actually listening to the pulleys. So let's stop this for a moment. And let's go around the back and see what we can hear in the back side. Let's move this out of the way. Now I gotta be careful that I don't hit that record. So.
Yeah, that would be a shame to record whatever might be on there.
This on here.
I was hoping
Round
we'd
this
hear
out
human
to the
voices, but
chassis
I don't
again.
know.
Get these cords not so kinked up. Put this on the chassis. So this way, when I go into the chassis, it should get quiet. As you can see that there. Back this out just a little bit. Put this down. So this shields the actual probe. Right now it's just picking up noise out here. This is the new device. This isn't the Super Probe. This is the Ultra Probe. Completely different device, higher sensitivity, has detection built right into here and everything. So anyways, let's see what happens here. Rubber bands. Oh, listen to this.
I don't believe there's a case of society failing me.
Wow. So there is voice in there. There is voice.
Huh.
It changed pitch a little bit. And it looks like it's doing okay on the front wheel. Hopefully this, let's see what happens here. Okay, let's keep going.
Society failing me. 3 men, I believe they're back on them. Of society, which we see as failing to live up to its responsibilities. I don't believe there has ever been a place in our modern society in Canada, United States, where they have faced up to the responsibilities.
Wow, so that's the voice. It is actually playing a voice. You know what we should do? So it's picking up a lot of noise on the top end of the chassis here. It's hearing the actual rubber bands moving around and the pulleys and everything. Now keep in mind, this is just a piece of coax. This isn't a microphone or anything like that. Just a total piece of coax. And it listens to so many things. So it's hearing everything on the upper side. So if I can tip this upside down and maybe get this under the chassis, maybe closer to the wiring on this tube, we might actually be able to hear things. This is actually hearing the signal in this vacuum tube on the just outside here, just by having it around this. So that's pretty good. These are the audio, well, one of these is the audio output tube. I guess we could try that, see if there's anything there. A little bit.
It's pretty amazing.
That you move them into cities such as Lancashire and Manchester.
Wow.
Down
So yeah, pretty much nothing on the audio output tube. I'm looking inside the top of that tube right now and I see one of the grid wires glowing. So probably bad caps and a whole bunch of stuff going on under the side of on the underside of the chassis here. So I'll get the bottom off this and let's take a listen inside. Maybe we can hear just a little bit better. That's looking all original. We're very close too. Look at that. That's looking very original in there. So this here is the preamp. Let's get the screws out of the way here. This is the preamp section down in here. So what I'll do...
Wow,
get
that's
close to
crazy
that
looking.
tube there and see what we can hear. So I'll turn this around so that we can listen to this. Right now it's off, so
Looks like it's just like
Nothing's
a
going to happen.
mess of things in there. It's hard to tell what you're if you're not familiar with it, you have no way of knowing what you're looking at.
all right. So we'll turn this back on, make sure everything is off on the front. And yeah, okay. Maybe we can get a bit better idea of what's going on in this thing from the bottom side here. So I need to ground this to the chassis here. see what's going on the front here. Okay, so I think we're ready to go. Make sure I turn this the right way again. Preamp tube.
We're in a farm where the people looked after themselves to a far greater degree. They had no mother or father. She stayed in the farm dwelling. The people were responsible to themselves for their own affair, mind you. They turned to the squire. Testing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hello, test. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I again say I don't believe that system is correct. They didn't substitute anything for it when they brought them into these industrial centers.
So it sounds like there's quite a bit of power supply hum. So it sounds like there's quite a bit of power supply hum in this. Give me a second here. Pardon me for getting in front of the camera there. Quite a bit of power supply hum. So I imagine there's ripple. The filter cap in this is probably bad, which is definitely a really big possibility. So what I'll do quickly here is I'll grab a couple of external filter caps, maybe add some filters to this, and that might clear it up so we can have even a little bit better listen to what he's saying. All right, I've got 2 new electrolytic caps and I've paralleled them into circuit. Now, by no means is this a restoration or repair. This is just to add some filtering to where some filtering is missing. So in the case of a restoration or anything like that, the old cap needs to be removed out of circuit completely when the new ones are put in. But again, this is just for demonstration purposes, just to add some filtering. So I'll turn this thing on and let everything warm up here for a moment. So let the tubes come into emission. The caps are looking okay down there. And let's see if we can hear anything better now. So this should be interesting. Hopefully this gets rid of the hum. So I'll take a look around the front here, make sure I'm going the
I
right
hope it gets
way.
rid of the hum.
Okay, here we go.
This moment beginning to assume the responsibility for the people of the country, that it was necessary for governments to assume, and I don't agree with Brother Laudy here when he says the government shouldn't assume all of these responsibilities. I like to believe that the government, they're our elected representatives, and they are the people who must do it, who must look at it, and must find ways and means of looking after them.
Wow, that is really neat. So that's nice and clear now. That's nice and clear. So it needs filter caps. There's still absolutely no sound coming out of the speaker, and the grid in that tube is glowing orange. So of course there's a lot more troubleshooting to do and find out why we're getting no sound and everything in here, but at least, you know, with the Ultra Probe, it allowed us to listen into the components here and actually hear what's going on. That is very neat. If you would like to, you know, go through an entire troubleshooting procedure with me, let me know and I'll revisit this in another video, and we'll find out why this isn't actually making any sound out of the speaker and find out why the grid in that tube is glowing and all that kind of stuff. But we got to hear what was on that wire, and it's actually pretty clear. It sounds very, very good. So I'm very impressed. So that's yeah, very, very neat. Neat to actually hear that. Who knows how long or how long ago that was actually recorded. Very, very neat. So anyways, oh, and if you're interested in this thing is a project that you can build. So I have all the plans and everything to build this on my Patreon
built
site.
that himself.
All the build files and everything, even the front decal here, and I tell you how to put this all together. It's actually a pretty decent and simple project to build, and it's so sensitive that, well, as you can hear, it's, you know, hearing right inside components here. So anyways, definitely check that out if you're interested. I'll talk more about this right at the end of the video. Anyways, I think that was a project successful. And if you'd like me to, again, continue troubleshooting in the future here and revisit this, let me know in the comments below. And we'll trace down all the problems in this thing and maybe get the sound coming out of its actual speaker. Listening to that voice on the wire was really neat, and I hope you enjoyed the process as much as I did. I'll have more videos like this coming in the very near future, so definitely stay tuned. Don't forget to subscribe and tap that bell symbol. If you like the video, you can let me know by giving me a thumbs up as well. If you're interested in that Ultra Probe, definitely check that out. I'll put the link to that just below the video's description under the Show More tab, and I'll pin the link at the top of the comments section. You can also check out my ongoing electronics course while you're there. All right, until next time, take care. Bye for now.
Well, that was random but interesting. Oh, this is interesting. So the Supreme Court's taking on birthright citizenship.
Arguments in the case about ending birthright citizenship. How confident are you that the court will rule in your favor and allow that order to end birthright citizenship to go forward?
Well, you're just telling me that for the first time. I am so happy. I think the case has been so misunderstood. That case, birthright citizenship, is about slavery. If you look at the details of it, the signings of it, everything else, that case is all about slavery. And if you view it from that standpoint, people understand it. But for some reason, lawyers don't talk about it, the news doesn't talk about it. That's not about tourists coming in and touching a piece of sand and all of a sudden they're a citizenship. You know, they're a citizen. That is all about slavery. And even look at the dates on which it was signed. It was right at that era, right after the Civil War. And if you look at it that way, the case is an easy case to win. And I hope the lawyers talk about birthright citizenship and slavery, because that's what it was all about. And it was a very positive, it was meant to be positive. And they use it now instead, not for slavery, they use it for people that come into our country and they walk in and all of a sudden they become citizens and they pay a lot of money to different cartels and others. It's all about slavery, and if you look at it that way, we should win that case.
Well, I hope he's right. I hope that we do win it. But, you know, it's hard to say. I mean, if anything, it's because of the way that it's been abused. You know, you've got people that are coming over here to have their babies, so their babies will be considered U.S. citizens. It's not fanned by most people. Freemason secrets? Why am I being
Why is that being recommended to me? Oh, how long is this? Okay.
But Aaron M. Holt sent live on
Yeah, I
the air
know.
a picture of Kayla Ricada, who he was having relations with at the time. She walked into his studio while he was live streaming, right? And to entice him, you do something sassy and sexy or whatever. She walked in nude, not on camera, and she was like this, because I saw the photo, ladies and gentlemen. And he went, wow, and like, bing, took a picture of it, right? A few months back, I was angry with Aaron at the time because I had some misinformation. I was, in my opinion, a bit manipulated by a few people. Some texts were being written to me by someone who is, I hope, I once considered a friend, but they weren't actually from her. It was psychological fucking torture and warfare. Lots of drugs on their end involved, and lots of worry.
Sometimes I
lots
wonder,
of
though.
strife,
Sometimes I
lots
wonder
of
if it really
pain.
was
But
April.
so Aaron, down and out on his luck, cucked out of his life, embarrassed by the whole situation, fucking trying to cope with it, sends that picture, completely consensual picture that was taken of Kayla. He sends it live on the air to my husband, who never asked for it. Nick Ricada gets a hold of this information probably because I said it on this stream, and he watches everything instead of, I don't know, hanging out with his children. And then him and I to be honest, I don't even know who I got text from now that I know that he was writing all of the texts from my friend April. But not all of them, some of them. When I talked to her on the phone, that's different. But I did not hear from her. But all of a sudden now we're getting like, can you describe the photo? Can you describe the photos? Were there any more of them? Were there this? Were there that? This is all, in my opinion, again, it's my opinion, Nick can't stand that Aaron got out of the polycule before the shit hit the fan, and they battering rammed the door down, and they all got fucking like fucked because they were, getting high around a bunch of fucking kids. Okay. So they're like, well, we'll get Aaron. This is how Nick Ricada is like, this is how I'm going to fucking cope. We'll get him. I don't think Kayla wants anything to do with it. They took their kids away for a period of time. I think Kayla, like, fuck this. That's a douchey thing to do. But we have our kids back. Can you get off of the internet, Ricada, keyboard warrior? Like, fuck. Who cares? Ricada texts me all these things. I wish you could have seen her face when that happened. Terrible. So Aaron has to go through this whole trial for that. Whole thing. Wait. Minnesota police are calling Gino and I to get our statements. And yeah, I was like, we're like, we don't lie. This is what happened. It's stupid. Well, Gino more said it was stupid at the time. I had more spicier words. I was angry with him at the time. And said, yeah, it was disgusting, awful thing to do. It was a photo like this, blah, blah, blah. Da, 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 da. Aaron ends up pleading down to it and being able to talk about it now. So he got a misdemeanor, a gross misdemeanor, which he deserved. Felony, I don't think people plead down things all the time. All right. And yeah, he pled guilty to it.
That's true. People do plead things down all the time.
I guess he's going to get sentenced. He had a $50 fine for it, which he deserves to pay. Ricada can't stand that. Still can't stand it. Couldn't stand it. Called the courthouse every day, I heard. They only talked to Kayla one time. She gave them one statement and didn't answer ever again. Because, want to know why? Because she's hanging out with her kids, probably. Probably just wants this all to be over. Not Ricada, though. Nope, not Ricada. And thank God, I feel better about it now because April is safe and away from all this fucking bullshit. And thank fucking God, because it was a really fucking disturbing few months we had there when I was talking to her. And the only reason I had to reach out to Toe is because I was genuinely fucking worried. Tried to reach out to Rekieta to say, she's telling me this is happening. She's acting fucking nuts and telling me she's doing fucking whippets in her car, right? Listen, it's just life experience that made me go, I'd rather do something drastic than do nothing at all and something fucking horrible happen. And I'm just glad she's out of that fucking situation. So when I reach out to Rekieta, what does he do? Nothing. Doesn't answer. Tells her, tell Keanu you misheard her. You didn't tell her that. Reached out to another friend to call Nick. She does. Says Keanu's fucking desperately fucking worried about April. She's doing this. She sounds fucking kooky. She said, I'm doing this. My car. Yada yada. And then he goes, no, don't worry about that. I know what she's doing. It's fine. Then he reaches out to me, and then I'm trying to be nice. I'm like, oh, well, I guess thank you for checking on her. He's like, I was with the kids all day. I'm like, oh my God, you asshole. And then her and I start fucking talking again. And now it calls every fucking day. It's calls every day about the fucking, and I've never heard someone so fucking, I'm about to go on stage, and then I get off stage, and I was sitting in the bathroom praying with her. I thought she was hyperventilating so bad because she thought she was going to lose Nick because he was blaming her for missing their fucking drug test. I never heard her really, she rolled back on the things that she said about Aaron, and fucking, she only ever told me a bad word about fucking Nick and what was going on there, and said, no, Aaron was not this or that. So I can only go off of her word. But you get a manipulator, former lawyer like Rekieta, promising her that he'll be with her after all this is over, but we gotta get Aaron. We gotta get Aaron. What do you know about Keanu? Oh, this is what you should do. Yeah, you should definitely lean into that. Even though she rolled back, she said one thing, it was his text, and then she said, no, that never happened. He wrote the text. But whose heartstrings are you going to pull at? The person that was fucking violently fucking abused. And I don't even blame her for that. I think she was being fucking mentally abused by Nick. So I don't even fucking blame her for that. But of course, I'm gonna go, oh, fuck. Fuck you, Toe. Then, it becomes, no, that's not, he wrote those. He's been emotionally abusing me. I'm like, okay.
Phew.
Getting into the hobby
It's like,
of pottery is
what do you believe exactly,
But
does she
Aaron
say
and
all
Holt,
this because dunking on Nick was way more popular than dunking on anybody else? It's hard to say. It's really hard to say for sure what her motivations are. Mars livestream, Elder Fox TV. I don't think this is a real. This isn't a real Mars livestream, is it?
Perseverance is now driving faster than any previous rover, and is
Yeah,
broken
they're
records for
showing
the distance
some.
traveled.
Yeah, they're showing some documentary. I'm like, this isn't Mars. They're not doing live things, Mars. What is this? Okay. Let's see here. I cough. Aww. Oh, that's kind of weird. Trying to figure out if there's any. Let's see here. Let's see what's on Stalin. I'm not spelling it right. Yeah, there we go. Hmm.
And one by one, we're having a look at Rekieta now, guys. Big headline today. We've been following this Rekieta saga from its inception. Before he was even arrested, we were covering his decline, his obvious drug use, him putting bottles up his bum, him spreading his wife's lewd pictures in his locals, all of the cringe downward spiral as we were being gaslit. Oh, there's nothing wrong. You guys are just making stuff up. Then he got arrested and shit hit the motherfucking fan. And from that point on, it was like amazing content. For months, it was just crazy stuff. Aaron Imholte coming on the show, you know, breaking it all down, talking about all the cuckold tales and all the debauchery and degeneracy that was going on. There's a, what was it? The update from Matter of Public Record, Minnesota Public Record.
Yes.
There is a new matter of public record to disclose, or whatever the phrase was. Every time he tried to go live, there was a new drop against him where he would have to cancel the stream, and he was totally felted.
And explain
all of the sweepers, all of the janitors that would come out to try and defend him and his honor. Melanie Mack, Star Wars Girl, remember Barnes, Viva Frey, like all these Baldo washers, and one by one, they were all just fucking felted.
Beyond.
And really, the point of no return was when it was discovered that Rekieta's own daughter had tested positive for cocaine. And from that point on, there was really no recovering his reputation. He ended up having to plead guilty, And at that point, when he pled guilty, it's like we're in the end game. We've been sitting around waiting to see what the final end result would be. It's like he cut a plea deal. It looks like he's not going to get any punishment at all. In that interim period of time, he wasn't streaming. He would just like post in Melton's chat from time to time.
Donate.
And then there was like the mini saga where it was the revenge porn saga with Aaron.
And then the hacking saga.
It ended in total humiliation, where the punishment for Lady Rekida's nudes being leaked was a $50 fine and no jail time and a shitty little misdemeanor.
And
Meanwhile,
celebrating?
Aaron's celebrating and Rekieta was coping hard. Oh, it was brutal, buddy. But it looks like we're finally nearing the end of this, unless the cyber crime stuff picks up.
We hope.
But we're going to have a look at, Rekieta told us all that the sentencing guidelines, oh, don't worry, guys, I'll never get any punishment because of the sentencing guidelines, da-da-da-da. Well, we've now learned what has been recommended as the sentence by the investigative team.
Okay.
And how we learned this is a submission by Rekieta's lawyer, the Barnes Walker, trying to argue for Rekieta to get less than what they're recommending. Because what they're recommending, Rekieta is really, really, really not going to like. Really not going to like. And it's all going to be laid out here in this letter to the judge from his lawyer. Mr. Rekieta stands convicted of possession of 10 grams or more of narcotic drug. Defendant entered a guilty plea. As part of the guilty plea, the defendant received a statutory stay of adjudication. The remaining terms of the sentence are at the court's discretion. A pre-sentence investigation report was ordered and has been filed with the court. So what has the pre-sentence investigation report decided would be an appropriate sentence for Mr. Rekieta? Let's go through these slides. Let's find
there's
out.
a request here. They're requesting you do it in Ralph's voice.
I'll do it in Ralph's
All right,
voice.
let's get 10 subs for Ash to do it in Ralph's voice.
Let's get 10 subs for me to do it in the Ralph voice.
All right, we got 5 for
Rick Decatur has gifted 5 subs. Yeah, this is basically Ralph's attorney, or Rekieta's attorney anyway.
Ralph?
Is Ralph? Yeah. He may as well have hired Ralph. Ralph probably would have done a better job, to be honest, than the Barnes Walker.
Oh, shit.
The PSIR notes that the defender, he falls in the low-risk category for general recidivism, unlike me, the Ralph Amale, who's very likely to be a recidivist.
Oh gosh.
They will need to demonstrate positive pro-social adjustment, etc., etc.
These two are hilarious sometimes.
To the next slide, where we're going to find out Katie's punishment. The PSIR recommends that defendants serve 30 days jail, bitch. You're going to get credit for 2 days served from May 23rd, 2024 to May 24th, 2020. We're coming up on the 1-year anniversary of all of this. Isn't that crazy? Now here comes the lawyers. However, this recommendation is not borne out by any specific facts in the PSIR. It seems more that this is boilerplate language inserted in the report rather than the considered and reasoned recommendation of a trained probation agent. If you want to know the truth about it, Bish, I know better than the PSIR on how to write a PSIR, because I think Robert Barnes is the greatest lawyer of all time, Bish. Jail should be reserved as a sanction for violation of a probation condition and not as a workaround by the state for the stay of adjudication defendant. Suffer, Bish! Like, that's all I gotta say. Suffer, bitch. Like, he's coping. You are coping and seething. Those 30 days in jail you'll be receiving. Yes, you are coping and sneezing. Let's go, Judge Wentworth. Let's go, buddy. Oh, yeah, let's go. Next slide. This is the best. This is the second best part.
Okay.
This is what's really gonna fuck his shit up. But the third condition is the one that's gonna hurt him the most.
Yes.
The length of probation appears to be a similar problem. The PSIR recommends a term of probation of 5 years.
5 years.
5 years.
No drinking, right?
No drinking. No smoking weed. No nothing. No illegal substances. He has to be piss tested for 5 years.
Oh my God. Let's
go.
go.
He's not making it. He's fucked. If this 5-year probation comes down on him, if he violates the probation, bro, he's gonna get the full ass rape sentence. He was like facing like 20 years, bro.
He has to quit. Like, he has to be sober.
He's screwed. He can't do it. He can't do it, bro.
No.
He can't.
No.
There's no way.
Is it
Even
random drug tests?
Yes, man. Like, he's fucked.
They'll knock
Like,
on your door and
they
be like,
might have him do like the sweat patch.
oh, yeah.
Where if you sweat the booze, it immediately notifies them that you violated.
Oh,
No. And so he's going to have to be under the thumb of the government, answering to a probation officer for the next half decade until 2030. Until 2030, buddy. That's a long time,
That's key, though.
Ricada. There's no way, bro. There's no way he's going to survive that. But the best part, go to the next slide.
Uh-huh.
The
And he could possibly survive.
recommends that the defendant
I think there's people that,
80 hours of community
for some
service
reason,
fish.
hope
If you
that
wanna
he
know
won't
the
survive.
truth about it,
But he could
just
survive.
imagine,
He could.
Nick Rekieta has never ever worked a job in his life. He couldn't even handle his boss at Wells Fargo telling him to make sales calls because he was too good for it.
Yeah.
Imagine him having to report to some guy that's bossing him around to pick up trash on the side of the road. Has like oppositional defiance disorder. He has severe problems with authority. He's not gonna be taking this shit. Like, he's gonna lose.
In all likelihood,
This is so
his
Bro,
volunteerism will not be
made a
picking
literal
trash up
slave to the
on the
government
side of the road.
for 2
I think
full-time
that's
work weeks.
pretty much used
Someone
for
finds him on the side of the road and films him picking up trash.
people who are currently incarcerated, I think.
Bro, they just start throwing trash at him from the fucking freeway, buddy. Oh no! I know he deserves so much more, but it's just brutal for him, man. It's just brutal. So the Barnes Walker starts coping. He's a very active member of his community, but he's currently restricted from the practice of law despite having a Minnesota attorney registry number. The defendant's business, it allowed him to directly donate hundreds of thousands of dollars to charity and indirectly $1 million plus by encouraging my audience. And so because of this, apparently, the court should stay adjudication and place defendant on probation for a period of 12 months. I don't think that's going to happen.
Yes.
I don't think they're going to get them down from 5 years to 12 months.
They hate him.
And I mean, they might get the jail dropped. I don't even think so. I think that that's what it's going to be.
I hope it
And
increases the sentence. Like
well,
this.
I think the reason why
Look.
they want the 30 days is for him to sweat it out in the cell, for him to be forced to go sober in the jail cell before
Yeah.
the period of probation begins, because they don't believe that he's sober right now. And so, honestly,
He's not.
considering everything that that he got caught with and charged with, 28 grams of cocaine, like the illegal use of firearms, the child negligence charge, all of the charges stacked, where he was facing like 2 decades in the slammer, he got off pretty easy.
Oh yeah.
You know?
Oh
But
yeah.
the thing
dude.
is, like this particular sentence, the 5 years of probation, he can't, if it's 5 years probation, he may as well just like, all right, I'll see you in 20 years, because it's never going to happen.
Yeah.
It's never going to happen. 5
No,
years of
you could.
sobriety, he can't do it.
You never know.
So that's the big new Rekieta development today.
For this sake, I
Now
hope it
we're
does.
gonna have
He
a
does
look
have
at some
5
things
kids,
that we were gonna
and at
have a
one
look at
time
on
he
Monday.
had a good
The
relationship
ball,
with,
this is
and
a crazy clip.
who knows?
This is some
Maybe
wild
that
stuff.
relationship
where
is getting better.
This is Aaron Imholte. For those of you who don't know, Aaron and Nick Rekieta were both married, and they decided to enter into a polycule relationship where they were swingers in a polycule called the Q Over. And they participated in a bunch of degenerate sex acts together that included Naked Twister, where the guys were, where Aaron's balls were like on Rekieta's like forehead.
Rubbing. Yeah. Rubbing.
Crazy shit. They were on sex crosses. These guys ate each other's cum, etc., etc.
Yes.
This is all, you know, and so now we're to the point where Aaron here is going to admit for the first time the gay feelings that they had for each other.
Wait, what?
John with $5 says, you feel like Nick had a same-sex attraction to you? Creepily, yeah.
Okay.
He's gay!
What the
He's
fuck?
gay! They're gay! They're gay! Gay alert! Gay alert!
There was
gay
dick
alert!
sucking. There was 69ing.
Buddy, you guys
There
were
was
69ing,
69ing.
hogging each other's Hogans, as Brian Dunn would put it, giving a hand job with your mouth.
Okay.
That's what was going
Jesus.
on in the rhythm of the night
Oh
in
my God.
Yohai County, Minnesota. Small town lawyer and small town radio host went hogging each other's Hogans.
Buddy,
Why
like-
wouldn't you just shut your fucking mouth at this
or
point,
just be
you
like,
know?
Or just be like, no. Just go, no.
No, but this was gay.
This
These guys.
is.
This is the thing, that the real reason this all happened wasn't even to swap wives. That was the
It was to
veneer of
swap
an excuse.
jizz.
It was to swap jizz. They had gay feelings for each other that they tried to cover up with something they thought was less shameful and cuckoldry and swinging.
Yeah.
Which it's like, I actually, you know, it's probably better to be gay than a cuckold. I don't know.
Whoa, whoa, whoa,
Honestly,
wait,
at that
whoa,
point,
chill.
I don't
mean,
know.
It's all.
I don't know,
it's all
buddy.
bad.
I don't know, buddy. I don't know. Like, but the thing is, they were both. So it's just totally fucking rhythm
Jesus.
of the night pill, buddy.
Okay, what's going? You count out. You can't out.
Oh
after
yeah,
60.
the rhythm of the night. They were destigmatizing the bedroom, according to Rekieta.
Oh man.
Keep walking into rooms and pretending it was an accident. When
What?
What?
Oops, pardon me.
Bro,
He's like beating off as he
Lord,
walks in.
And he's just a
just-
Peter stare. Like he's just
Yes.
looking at his penis.
Yeah, just fucking wetting his dick.
That's fucking gay, bro. He walks in the bathroom while you're taking a dump, and he's just checking out your package.
And he's just jacking it over the sink. That's fucked.
Whoa.
you know, he multiple times, and it was just, and then he'd throw a fit over it. He's just a weird guy. He might, same-sex attraction to me, I think there's definitely some homosexual
Bro, this guy,
feelings that-
this guy is working through his feelings, bro. This guy is on the air working through his homosexual feelings towards Rekieta, bro. This is crazy, bro. This is crazy tough.
I don't believe he's worked out. I believe that he has those.
I don't know
And
if
I
you've
believe
worked
he's-
it out,
Yeah,
though.
yeah, like this.
I feel like both of you guys just need to come out of the closet. Like,
I don't know. I can see it
Like a lot of
for
people
maybe
who have a hard time
Rekieta.
coming to grips with their real sexuality. I think he's fighting
But-
those. You see it when he
I don't know if I can say for sure that he's gay.
pages and when he tweets and when he sees
I don't
and
know.
all that stuff. There's, in my opinion, it looks like some repressed, weird sexuality. But he was also into humiliation.
Oh, wait. What's going on here? What's going
Bro,
on, dude?
like, just listen, Aaron, just stop talking about this stuff, bro. Because it's just like you're coming across. This is a kamikaze felt, and like the quintessential kamikaze felt, where you're calling the other guy gay by admitting you were in a gay relationship with him, and it's like it doesn't really work like this.
I mean, he says he wasn't, but he put himself in a lot of humiliating positions.
So did you.
Hang on.
So did you, though.
No, I'm
bro.
imagining positions. Like,
Yeah, you know, he took that one a little
too
bit more
literal.
literally, right?
yeah, sorry, I hit
Stuff.
that.
There's, in my opinion, it looks like some repressed, weird sexuality. But he was also into humiliation.
By the way, look at the guy. Look at the guy who sent the dono. It's like a fucking
It's a black bull, buddy.
like it's like
It's Drexel.
Oz. It's like from the show.
Yeah, no, that's
Oz.
Adebisi from
Oh,
Oz.
is it?
isn't
Okay.
I mean, he says he wasn't, but he put himself in a lot of humiliating positions and then would rage about it. So I don't know. I think that's a lot of confusion.
rusty
I think
trumpet?
that's a confused guy who probably needs therapy.
I think you're both
Really, really
confused.
bad. But
Okay, like therapy.
No, buddy. I don't think therapy can fix this one.
Weren't you there, dude? Like
You
might
were
not work
there.
because-
You were in the positions with him, swapping
you were in there, dude. Bring it up. Another win for the toe.
One thing my
no.
therapist said to me is they said, you'll never see a narcissist in a therapist's office.
Well,
What
no,
specifically
actually,
was-
that's not true.
You will.
That's not true. You'll see a lot of them in therapist off. Don't worry. That's so not true. That's unbelievable.
That
Sir, are you
feel like-
okay?
do you think? I don't know. Never been into the gay. If other people are, that's
Come
fine as long as
on!
they can be on.
Okay, so this guy, he wants us to believe that Nick Rekieta is gay, that he witnessed Rekieta doing gay behavior with him, where they were together doing sex
It's
acts
a
together
little-
that were of
yeah,
homosexual
it's a little
nature.
sus.
Twister, naked Twister.
Yes,
Don't forget that.
but only Rekieta is gay and not him. But it's like it takes two to tango, sir. You know what I'm saying? There's like four of you all involved in this weird debauchery, and it was gay. So just come to grips. If you're gonna say he's gay,
He could
you
be
need to
bi.
admit that you're gay. And it's the same thing with Rekieta.
He could
He's like
absolutely be
talking
bi.
about how Aaron ate his cum, and it's like, okay, listen, if he ate your cum, you're also gay. You're having another man eat your cum. That's about as gay as it gets, sir. And I don't believe
that'd
it
be
wasn't
sick.
reciprocated. These guys were both cream pieing each other's wives and eating it out. That's what they were doing.
Oh,
This is insane.
Honest with themselves, but you know what it's always been for me? Stubble. Not a fan.
Like the
Oh!
cope,
John,
by the way, like
Oh
the
my-
steel toe cope is that he just likes the taste.
wait.
Like that's not a good cope.
So, Ash, did you hear that? He goes, for me, it's the stubble. That's what it always is. So how would you know that?
Cause they kissed.
Oh my!
These men,
God.
bro, they kissed.
He's like, it's always been the stubble.
Oh,
Always
no.
been.
Oh, wait a minute.
Always.
Always been. Why has it ever been? You know?
What the fuck?
Okay, so now we have
Oh,
this
yeah.
is we're pretty much we're nearing the end game, or so we think, of the Rekieta saga. The sentence is coming down, I think Friday, and Rekieta's like returning to streaming that day. So we'll see like what happens. But we have the potential, as we've gone over in the past on this program, of additional crimes, additional charges coming down on Rekieta. And it would be for him accessing Aaron M. Holte's Gmail without permission.
That we covered. We covered.
That we covered.
Mhm.
And this is a comprehensive timeline explaining it.
Okay.
And it looks
beautiful.
like, beyond any shadow of a doubt to my eyes, he's totally guilty of this.
Oh yeah, no, upset. And by the way, shout outs to
Third world aristocrat.
Third world aristocrat. Yeah.
You know, I give out just enough to let people know what's titillating, what's popping. But go ask. Ask Nick Rekieta if I keep secret. Dude, I don't like how the internet's claiming Nick and I are friends. We're not friends. We're not.
So this was
And
all
there's
began on
some
October
years
29th,
ago,
apparently.
October 29th, Rekieta saying,
But he still hasn't been
leaked
charged.
Anything I've given him. What would you have given him? Let's keep watching. Let's keep watching.
Wow.
Whatever pisses the most people off. I have stuff I'd love to spill right now. I'd love to. I want Rekieta to send me
Look at this.
in the mail.
He says Aaron jerks off after reading my Kiwi Farms thread. I'm not kidding. But how would he know that? Unless he had access to Aaron's Google search history.
Yikes.
The charcuterie fridge. Nick Rekieta has some kind of evidence and proof about what Aaron likes sexually. What kind of porn he likes.
Okay. Like, I won't say exactly what, but Rekieta has access to his porn history. Okay.
Imagine he has some sort of proof. There is shit that's gonna come out. I wish I could tell you. Aaron
Bro, this is
doesn't
like a
even know.
mystery movie where it's too easy to solve the ending.
Yes.
You're just like, I think I figured it
Because the murderer just confessed to it in the middle of the movie. And then the police just didn't do anything about it for months.
Oh yeah. I can't even give you a taste or a hint. How dumb is he? Aaron is fucking retarded and fucked himself so hard.
And it's Kino, by the way.
And it's not a story. It's just wait. It's so big. It's so big and all encompassing.
Alyssa Clips sends an email to AaronMHoltRadio@gmail.com.
DMs with Nick Rekieta.
Why would Nick do that? Why would Nick come in a chat and tell everyone that you jack off after looking at his Kiwi
By
Farms
the way,
thread?
that's really important to know that on that date, Alyssa Clip sent an email to Aaron M. Holte because Rekieta will then confirm that he knows the contents of that email later on, which is the strongest proof that he's guilty of this crime.
Buddy, if Rekieta gets booked for this, it's over, dude.
Oh yeah, he's done. He's finished.
Oh my god.
And he's not kidding. Almost as if he's watched you do that.
Thank you, guys.
Rekieta sends a DM to Alyssa Clips.
Oh, Alyssa. So, but hurt you sent our DMs to Aaron to hurt me. Why don't you send him your nudes like you did to guys in my Discord? Make sure you take his money.
So there is Rekieta admitting that he has access to Aaron's emails, that he's read the email. It's crazy.
That's insane.
It's the smoking gun. It's the smoking gun in this whole thing.
Do you think that Rekieta knew this was illegal?
Well, of course they knew it was illegal.
I have a unique.
It's Rekieta and he's retarded because Melton had no idea. Remember, Melton
It's like
had
you
no
would.
idea, and then we're like,
you would think you
covering it, and
wouldn't
he
want to
goes,
overplay your
"Oh, wait,
hand.
what? That's a federal
And-
crime."
Reveal.
Position, and I don't want to rub this in again or tease it or
You know,
whatever.
you knew what was going on.
I know something that maybe 5 people on Earth know. If Aaron knew what I know, I don't know if he'd go live again. This is gonna be life-shattering hilarity. It's not a bluff.
Wait,
I'm not.
and pause. By the way, he's saying it's a life-shattering hilarity. Knowing what porn he jacks off to compared to the stories he said on our show.
No,
it's not even close.
There's nothing in his Google search history that's as embarrassing as the fact that he ate Rekieta's cum.
You know,
and that he was a cuckold to Rekieta, and that Rekieta he cocked him,
And
like,
vice versa.
and vice versa, like all of that, and like leaving the bullet of cocaine near his kids, and all of the stuff that he admitted to is fucked.
Yeah, exactly.
Not kidding. It's going to fucking crumble. One of the reasons I can't say it is I was asked not to. The other reason I can't tell you, and this is very important, it's still going on. It's still happening.
One of the one of
Somebody makes a good point. They're like, oh, Nick bugged his house.
Okay, like,
bro, like they're just so open about all of this. And it's like, I just can't believe, like, giving it to this blowhard, this obnoxious, fat, blabbermouth pedophile to disseminate all of, like, how stupid was Rekieta?
Well,
Because all of these statements can be used against him in court.
Oh my god.
But that's a great example. That's a great example of like what could be happening, right? Nick's got a recording device.
That's an example. Yes, that is an example.
He's planted.
And then there's Rekieta admitting he has his Jersey Mike's purchase history.
Uh-oh.
So you have access to his financials?
What's a Jersey Mike's? Like a bar?
Well, it's a sub shop.
Oh, a sub shop.
I have his Jersey Mike's purchase history.
Nobody Likes Onions writes,
Leak from Leighton Media. Oran's broadcasting deal details. He's asking Leighton for $3,000 a month.
All these reveals are like,
Excuse
I
me.
got his Jersey Mike sub
Not to
shop.
mute myself here for a minute.
Like, I got the deal for the radios. It's like, these aren't reveals.
But none of this stuff makes his criminal conviction go away.
No.
None of this stuff makes the fact that his daughter tested for cocaine go away.
Mm-hmm.
It's all just a sad cope that if somehow if Aaron loses, then that means that Rekieta wins. No, it doesn't.
Yeah.
You're just both fucking losers as you've been from the beginning.
To do a show for 3 hours a day. I can 100% guarantee that's the deal he is floating to Leighton. I seen his little presentation. If I shared the PDF of the deal Aaron sent over, you'd all fall down laughing. One day Nick will reveal it all, I think.
Someone got in contact with me who claims to be affiliated with Leighton Broadcasting. And we'll just say that this person's name is A, because that makes it fun. Aaron. So somebody familiar with this deal sent this over.
This poor bastard. I can prove that Aaron Imholt thinks about Nick Rekieta and reads about him and then jerks off. And that's what he wants to do.
Hold on.
What a cock.
You can prove
That guy's totally sober, by the way. Totally sober Rekieta there, by the way, guys.
I gotta
That's
rewatch
the voice
that
of a
stream.
sober man.
I gotta rewatch that stream one day, dude. That was wild, remember?
Farms credit and then jerks off.
Yes, I can do it. It's funny.
Rekieta Law tweets,
Oh my god, why would this be real?
Why are you showing everyone what we already know about you? Get some help. I'm a pray for you.
Oh pal, this isn't mine.
Smokey on Melton's Discord says, people watch porn, who gives a fuck? Moody responds,
Think of the implications, my guy. You're not clicked into it if you don't think this is a huge deal. This is a Google browser account that's logged in. It will have access to all Google services.
Nobody Likes Onions DMs.
Browser tabs, search
Like,
history,
The
emails,
fact that they
voicemails,
just
texts.
bragged about the scope of the crime. That they have access to like his money and his like it's crazy.
What were they thinking, man?
They laid it all out in the Discord, and it wasn't even private. It was a public Discord server. All that had one Kiwi Farms user joined, screen capped everything, and then just dumped it, and they're fucked.
And all we did was make a stream
And
about
somehow,
it, and then it was fucking hidden.
All of this happened on 9/11, by the way.
Bay, that's crazy.
YouTube stats and analytics money. Everything.
almost said
This is
paste
not
to
from
9/11.
April. Aaron signed in himself on Nick's computer, and Nick has meticulously backed all up for months.
There it is. Like, there it is. Clear as day. Aaron signed in on Nick's computer, and then Nick used that and backed all of his information up in order to blackmail the guy.
By the
but
way-
it's beyond that. It's beyond even blackmail or making fun of him. As we'll find out, Rekieta accessed potentially attorney-client privileged emails between Aaron and his defense attorney, which could have honestly, that's probably the one thing that's going to get the government involved in this, is if turns out Rekieta did access emails between Aaron and his lawyer when there was an ongoing legal case to which Rekieta was party to with Imholte. The government doesn't fuck around with shit like that.
Do you remember?
He absolutely did, by the way.
This always happens. Remember when everyone like, on Melton's side, the Dabbleverse, called us liars when we covered this shit first? And then it came out that it was all true, like, later?
yeah.
Like...
And Aaron shut it down this morning, but
Yes,
he has
and
it all
and
saved.
Sean was giving him legal advice, which is attorney-client privileged, I imagine, between him and Imholte. And Rekieta revealed that he read those emails between Sean and Aaron. Like, he straight up said, we'll see in the timeline.
Breaking Baldo News World exclusive. With explicit permission from Aaron Imholt, Breaking Baldo News reveals DM conversations in which Aaron Imholt suspects Nick Rekieta accessed his Google account without authorization. Further felony charges likely. Aaron Imholt writes,
Ready for this one. Nick was logged into my Google account in his house and was reading my emails and sending some to people. Password changed and devices logged out.
That's interesting, too. The idea that he was actually not just observing, but then he used the email service to send emails out. Like, it's fraud.
That's crazy. Holy
what the fuck? And then asks loads of questions. Aaron answers.
I think he observed I was logged
That's
into
a
his...
little bit like identity theft, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, he's facing potentially the charges for these cyber crimes. There's multiple, and they're 5 years apiece.
What? It's like the year of the snake, like the jail year as well, where everyone's in jail for 5 years per crime.
His computer, and he had been accessing the account, and new people were sending me stuff for my case.
Try to identify location access. See if you can reasonably establish unauthorized access.
I did. I think it was from when I did shows there.
Back on Discord, Melton writes.
The stuff Nick has. If I was Aaron, fuck.
Moody sends.
The implication is that this is just a screenshot of the browser history. If he has access to this, he has access to his emails, YouTube account, receipts from PayPal, or anything he's purchased.
So, Paul,
It's
so we do have Josh Moon weighing in, and he's our resident technical expert or internet expert, I guess. And he says it's hacking. If you access any computer system without permission, even if it has no security, it is hacking under the Computer Fraud and Abuse Act.
And how
We
long is
appreciate
that?
him weighing it.
Yeah, yeah.
The sentence would be 5 years.
Well, let's do it. Do it.
very bad for Aaron.
By the way, would that, here's a question, would that, since he read the emails that Aaron had for the ongoing case, would that affect his current case?
See, I don't know if it would be a violation of probation or not. I think
that's
it would
what
have to be. I think it would have to be after he was sentenced.
After
Some people in
sentencing.
chat are saying you would think it would be, but most of the time it's not. But we'll see.
But the sentencing was done after all this shit happened. But if you were fucking with it during the trial, I mean...
Yeah, Matthew,
Okay,
says
probably not.
it happened before the probation, so
Okay.
probably not.
Okay.
And burn victim also, you know, with the most astute take, the highest probability of being true take, taps the sign, nothing ever happens.
Yeah.
But this time, he can't keep getting away with it.
But he could be disbarred permanently, says Josh. All right, cool.
Melton
Base.
I literally have the
Not like
proposal he
The thing
emailed
is,
this
though, it's not like he's ever going to practice law again anyway, but it is just an extra level of humiliation to take that away.
Practice law.
station. Law.
Didn't practice
You know how
shit.
now. 11 months. Imagine what Rekieta has and knows. Imagine.
Rekieta Law tweets.
It doesn't matter. Aaron has been reporting everything I
This
say
is
to
what's
every
gonna
authority
screw
he
him.
can think.
Where he's saying Sean has been trying to advise him and elicit. So that's him admitting that he's read emails between Sean and Aaron.
That's creepy.
Of, and his lawyer
That's
trying for
creepy
anything.
as fuck.
Fat Sham has been trying to advise him. Even Alyssa is chipping in. I've never tried to stop him from talking.
One wonders how Rekieta knows that, almost as if he's been surveilling some private communications. Nobody likes
The amount of evidence is overwhelming.
Oh,
it's not
it just,
even.
it just keeps stacking and stacking and stacking.
Like,
And
we
then
know,
when
we
you
know.
consider the feds will be able to subpoena everything and see all the access locations and when and what happened, he'd be fucked. He's
Yeah.
absolutely fucked if they do decide to pursue these charges.
Yeah. And yeah, this video's done very well.
Onions writes,
This allows so much you can't fathom. For instance, Aaron gets an email with every PayPal
Dying
and
Rabbit Real says, I can hear your Discord alerts.
No.
It fooled me into thinking it was our Discord alerts too, but it's actually in the video.
It's
So
like
just-
whenever you see in your Discord, I have it on streamer mode. Whenever you have
yeah.
Venmo donation.
It's just a really well done video. Sound effects and visual. It's awesome.
You can put together a chart of fake donations. Literally, Aaron has been getting legal advice from Sean
By the way,
and Nick.
you know, like 1,000 people check their Discord during this segment.
Oh, yeah. Well, no, I've done it 3 separate times. 3 separate times thinking you were messaging me and it was not.
No.
And
I
even
have
and
mine
even
off, though,
and
yeah.
even though I know that it's in the video, I still keep checking it.
I always have mine off.
Nick could watch it all. Haha. Nick would send me Aaron panic searching to see if he was defaming me.
Random Discord user writes, this is huge. One single screenshot has Aaron sweating.
great, Josh.
11 months of data.
No, sweetie. He's had access for 11 months. Who knows how old the account is, and he had access to all of it.
Cringe.
Maybe decades of Google history.
He's had access for 11 months.
Okay,
Just imagine this creepy fucking sex offender looking guy going through all of your searches and personal
crazy.
info.
Oh,
That's
crazy.
the freakiest part of it all, man.
Yeah.
And this
yeah.
is a guy who's obsessed with Aaron, obsessed with his kids, has made creepy sexual comments towards Aaron's children.
fucking them and
he-
stuff.
Yeah, and he could potentially, and he probably did, took photos of the kids from the cloud and stuff. It's just disgusting. And the
Fact.
fact that Ricada joined forces with this guy, it's like, how low can you go, bro?
It's crazy, dude.
He can see everything.
So in case all the evidence wasn't enough to, convince you.
And then think about how important email is to other services. For instance, maybe every time you get a PayPal or Venmo donation, you get an email about it.
So he's got like every donator's like name and like shit like that.
Again, is it illegal for me to have a zip file of all his personal photos and...
Okay.
Whoa, man. That's disgusting.
What? Pictures of children?
Credit card info and search history. I don't know.
And mind you, pause. Mind you, by the way, like one thing Ricada always cried about was that the Kiwi Farms wants to look at and lust over his children. And meanwhile, you have Melton, who's actually directly said that sort of stuff, who Ricada handed access to pictures of Aaron's children to.
That's fucked.
Just disgusting.
We'll have to have my legal team look at it. I can't imagine Nick, being a lawyer, would be putting himself...
It was at this moment he knew. He fucked up.
But look how much trouble he's in. Who knows?
But I can talk about my day yesterday. Yesterday, I was at the St. Cloud Police Department.
Hey, Johnny. Wheelchair Johnny. Don't you miss him?
Everybody stand up and give Johnny a round of applause.
Yep.
Voluntarily this time. And at the end, I asked them. I said, is what I've shown you, is what I've talked to you about, is that a crime? And they said it does sound like it.
Nobody likes Onion's tweets.
Some pics or nothing. Annexed in the tweet are very zoomed in pictures of what may be Aaron's Leighton broadcast.
Okay, so now it's just straight up evidence.
No, it's just like these guys tattled on themselves.
With his mane.
They're their own star witness against themselves because they are so desperate for attention on the internet.
Not even an alt.
Which, it's, honestly, if they really wanted to release information to fuck up Aaron, they should never have said fucking anything, went to the public library and dumped all this shit on Cal. is what they should have done.
Yeah.
You know,
Don't do
but
that,
it
by the
was-
way.
it was- no, but like this is like the thing is there would have been ways to actually, but they're just so fucking dumb that they had to do it in this theatrical, mustache twirling villain way for attention because they're desperate and pathetic.
Some pics of nothing.
Casting proposal.
Moody texts on Discord.
I personally think Nick did have access to Aaron's
Yes, Moody.
account, but I don't have absolute proof of that. I think that it's illegal to have access to that account and then disseminate that info. It seems like that's what Nick is doing. But we can't be sure of that, even if all the above is true. I don't know how motivated a police department in a small town would be to not only investigate this, but
See,
then
listen,
charge him.
this is their cope. Yes, it is illegal, but we're just praying to God that nobody looks into this or we're all going to jail.
Yeah.
This
But
is
it's-
actually the cope that they're going with.
But it's
And it's
on
like-
a live show.
But this is the same thing Ralph thought. Is well, they'll never go. And then a fucking nationwide body order like warrant was issued for him. And shit, now I can't see my son for Christmas. Let me tell you, Candy-Ojai County is fucking pissed. This has been the biggest circus sideshow they've ever had to deal with in the history of the county. And when you say shit like this, by the way, these stupid, dumb yokel officers will never be able to figure out the computer. It incentivizes them to figure out the computer. You know?
There's a lot of ifs before Nick ends up in
And
prison.
it's also,
Them trying
yeah, and by the way, it wouldn't even be it wouldn't even be the Candy-Ojai County. It would be the feds who would be enforcing these cyber crimes also. So you don't even know what the fuck they're talking about.
to tie Patrick into this as an accomplice is so weird when you consider that he's in another state and this is incredibly petty. There's been no property damage, no bodily injury, and no monetary loss.
Okay. No one was killed. Yeah, it doesn't matter.
I just don't see how they'd be bothered to go further. If you think that's me defending Nick, and it's troublesome that I think like this, you're not reading things properly.
Okay, Moody. Like, what?
Nick's facing like issues of unauthorized access of Aaron's Google information, Google accounts, and all that. Yeah, that was really fucking dumb. Don't fuck around in computer accounts that aren't yours. Once again, Chad, I tell you, don't take notes about committing crimes, and don't talk about committing crimes. And if you're joking, don't joke about committing crimes.
Yikes.
Yeah. It's not smart.
No, it's not.
Actually retarded. Holy.
Especially don't joke about committing crimes if you really did commit
Yeah,
that
if
crime.
you actually did commit that crime, probably not best, but they're going off the J.F. Garepi School of Criminal Defense, which to be so far it's working. So,
You know,
maybe.
yeah, exactly.
Because guess what? The police are going to take a notice of you. And then they might find out if you're committing real crimes. So apparently, Nick has been surveilling communications. Such as, apparently, according to Melton, once between me and Aaron. Are you really sure the
Wow.
Minnesota Bar wants to know you're surveilling attorney-client relationships? Something to think about. I mean, that's
It's
the
just-
kind of shit a
I mean, like Sean is just being so reasonable. And it's just like, Rekieta, you're supposed to be an educated, intelligent guy. You're supposed to be a lawyer. And you're doing this shit?
Yeah.
Like, the guy is so caught up in his feelings and he's so emotional that he's just been burning down his life for years now, and he just doesn't know when to quit. He just keeps doubling down, and losing and losing and losing. And it's time to stop. The time to stop was a long time ago, but he still hasn't stopped.
bar will take your ticket for. What does privilege and confidence mean when you'll go out and blab about somebody's mental health crisis in the middle of a drunken rage? I mean, confidence is important to me. Confidentiality is important. I've talked to you out there. You guys have reached out to me about all kinds of stuff. I'll never tell a soul. I'll take it all with me to the grave. It's not mine to give away. It's not currency I use to extort and fuck with people.
It'd be so funny if I DM'd.
That tweet from Rekieta is so insane. Bro, he's not coming back from this, you know. He says he's coming back on Friday, but Like, he has no legitimacy anymore to anybody. Like, look at that tweet.
Yeah.
No one gives a shit about principles. They're just weapons in waiting for people who have no interest but to destroy. My principles were extensions of courtesy, my rights on loan to others. They abuse them and do not share the same principles. I owe them nothing.
It would be a funny prank.
It just doesn't get any more insane than that.
Imagine pranking Sean, being like, "Hey, can you keep something secret as like a lawyer thing?" He'll be like, "Yeah," and then you go, "I killed an entire family in Ohio 2 years ago," and just see how he reacts to you.
That's how real confidence works. That's how real privilege works.
Patrick Melton is a guy who's doxed people before. He's bragged about having months and months of my information. He put a zoomed-in screenshot, and I sent this to authorities, of my proposal to Leighton Broadcasting, which is in my Google Drive, which he did not have authorization to access, which Nick sent him. So Patrick has it. It was sent to him. I recreated the Zoom. It was from that. I mean, I recognized it. I wrote the proposal.
By the way, is there anything?
You know what he was trying to do? Melton was trying to do one of those like killer, using the magazine cutout, like
yes,
you know. But it's like on his.
It's like, but bro, this is real life. This isn't a movie, and you're not like a super villain. You're not Professor Moriarty. You're not Jack the Ripper. Like, you're not a James Bond villain. You're not Goldfinger, Blofeld. You're just some fat pedophile in Las Vegas.
There blow something.
And it's like, bro, like, and that also confirms that they aren't bluffing also.
Yeah.
It's direct confirmation that this wasn't just some sort of bluff play, because Aaron can confirm, yeah, that is actually my proposal, and the only way they could have got it is this way.
Anything in the court system at all about this Google hacking yet?
First of all, Aaron wasn't hacked in any way at all. But when he goes to report the crime, he has to start with, so I left my information logged in on a computer.
From the Cambridge Dictionary, hacking.
The activity of getting into someone else's computer system without permission in order
Yeah,
to...
if I leave my door unlocked and you rob me, it's not like, well, your door was unlocked.
You
So,
had to come
like,
to you, bitch.
Yeah.
find
So
out
stupid.
information or do something illegal.
Computer Fraud and Abuse Act, Title 18 of the United States Code, Section 1030.
Whoever intentionally accesses a computer without authorization or exceeds authorized access and thereby obtains information from any protected computer. The term computer means an electronic or other high-speed data processing device and includes any data storage facility or...
By the way, Ashton, you know this? I checked that site where you could check people's super chats, and you could
Yeah.
see Rekida's lifetime, how much he made in super chats. Guess how much he made?
1.2 million.
Yeah, 1.35.
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah. Gone.
And it's all
gone.
It's all gone.
All
And
gone.
he had to sell one of his two houses, and I honestly, at this point, the guy was given the perfect hand in life. He had a trust fund. He never had to work. He got to be an e-celeb and a lawyer and rake in all of this money and be his own boss. And all he had to do was just not commit insane crimes. You know, that's all he had to do.
Or do drugs.
All
Drugs
all he had
killed
to
him,
do
man.
is all he had to do is not destroy his life.
Yeah.
And the thing is, in spite of all that's happened, he could still have a very cushy, easy life. But he's just choosing to make it so hard. And it's just unbelievable. And when it all comes crashing down, nobody is going to have any sympathy for him.
Yeah.
Because there are very few people in this world who are as privileged as he is. And he threw it all away for nothing.
Mm-hmm.
For nothing.
And by the way, like the 1.3 whatever, it was nothing. It was nothing compared to where he was. Like, he was almost in the mainstream. He would have probably had like a Netflix show in 5 years if he stayed clean. Like the Rekieta Netflix show.
There's a different timeline where instead of talking to Kyle Rittenhouse about Fudas, and weird anime porn and shit. He actually asked Kyle Rittenhouse pertinent questions about his case.
Yeah.
And then people at Fox News saw that, and he was brought on as a Fox News legal contributor. And maybe he went over to CNN as like the conservative legal correspondent, and maybe he had it like there is an alternate timeline that's like that, where
Is that
this
what he
guy
asked
actually,
Rittenhouse?
yes, that's actually what he asked. And Kyle Rittenhouse was really uncomfortable. And after that, his opportunities to go mainstream were severely diminished.
Okay, that's kind of nuts.
He flushed it all away.
Facility.
I
The term
gotta watch that interview.
protected computer means a computer which is used in or affecting interstate or foreign commerce or communication.
Found that out yesterday that the cybercrimes thing isn't done.
So they could be collecting this stuff too.
Oh, apparently there's just a metric. Like this retard would not stop showing this shit to people. And the reason it's taking so long is they have a laundry list of people they need to talk to.
That's the thing about all of this is the wheels of justice turn very, very slowly, as we've seen throughout this entire Rekieta process. But when they do finally hit, it hits hard. And here we finally have Rekieta just admitting to hacking him. So Rekieta, for whatever reason, decided to jump in to defend the Quartering's coffee business.
Stop. It all ties together.
I don't know how it all ties together like this, but it does somehow. Aaron M. Holte just called the Quartering a cautionary tale.
True.
Jeremy, if you need to learn how to make money, please, Aaron knows how to do it, amateur. I love, by the way, how all of these guys believe that because they ran a YouTube channel, they know how to run a real business.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, but, you know, just pumping out 5 YouTube videos a day and collecting ad revenue does not make one a business mogul. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It just doesn't. It's just about the easiest way to run a business humanly possible.
We ain't on Shark
Somehow,
Tank.
you know, all these guys believe that they're these business geniuses because they ran a fucking YouTube account. It's like Rekieta, Quartering. Neither of you have ever run anything beyond a fucking lemonade stand that's been successful. As we've seen, Quartering's business, his coffee business, that he was the big king shit, is a total fucking disaster.
Bomb.
But anyway, then we have Rekieta here saying that he hacked Aaron to find the secret info. Again, just joking about crimes that you've committed. And then somebody goes, I think you forgot to use quotes around hack. And then Rekieta says, no, I did it with my computer for real. And I just
Which
love
he did.
the desire to brown nose the Quartering led to him getting fucked in court. I think that would be hilarious.
Oh, man.
Hey, Aaron. Here? Why didn't you say it the first time I said Aaron? Because it's pronounced Aaron. You done messed up, Aaron.
Aaron is back. Welcome back, everyone, for more.
Well, that segment is over.
Where every day's a great day not to be in a cult. Guys, I have been missing.
Yeah,
for
I don't want to watch this.
And
At least I think I was done with it.
the coffee is under attack again. By the way, the title of this video was Woke Leftists Attempt to Destroy Family Business. So,
This is about
like,
the.
he tried to clickbait people.
I have
into
questions
thinking it
about
wasn't about him and his coffee, and he's calling
him
it
and
a
his coffee
family
stuff and whether or
business.
not it's drop shit.
Is
I just
everything
don't
a
know.
family business then? Like family business, like conjures an idea of it's like the family has a restaurant.
I
or
just
they have,
realized
like, a
that
general
I've
store.
been
You don't
having my
think
plate
of
sit
a
there.
YouTube
Didn't even think about it.
coffee business as being a family.
This is what I had for lunch.
We'll grant you it's a family
Hot
business.
dogs.
Woke leftists are trying to destroy your family business. It's not at all that you went into a business that was like a failure. You know, it's not at all on you as to why the business is failing and you spending a ton of money to try and integrate a supply chain that makes no fucking sense. No. It's the woke leftist mob, right?
And by the
it's
way,
not that you're selling super overpriced coffee that doesn't make sense. It doesn't compete in the market.
by the way, if one review tanks your business, you weren't gonna make it.
I mean, I've tried his coffee,
The thing is,
and I wasn't really impressed.
It's one review. That's an unverified review, by the way. So it's like, I'm sure the guy did come in bad faith, but you know what? The points that he makes in his review are actually legitimate. And by the way, we can see a lot of unverified positive reviews as well. That is like clearly Jeremy or his fans coming in to AstroTurf it. But here we go. Quartering's going to start this video off in such a jokes way.
This is funny, this whole thing.
You know, a lot of people, it's kind of become a meme.
By the way, you know what's really funny, Ashton? Do you notice that his energy for these videos are more high energy than his actual videos about wokeism?
You know, he won't listen to his own audience, by the way, who beg him to stop shilling the coffee. But every video, he's shilling the coffee. And it gets to the point where it's so obnoxious that it makes you vow not to buy the coffee. Like, it gets to the point where you're shilling something so much that people are like, I will never buy it because of how fucking annoying this is.
Yeah.
I just want it to go away.
But his energy is so much higher than when he talks about wokeism. He's like, on wokeism, he's like, hi, guys, quartering here. Here, he's like, guys, quartering here.
Guys, quartering here.
On this channel of like people, it's kind of become a meme on this channel of like, I'm under attack. Like
As you say in every video, like every week, the guy is under attack.
The guy who cried wolf.
It's the blob who cried wolf. It's like, how many times, Quarter Pounder, are you going to tell us that you're under attack? And then we all have to give you money because you're under attack. Because we're all under attack because Trump's under attack.
I get that. And I also understand that I'm probably
If you
one
got that,
of the
you'd stop doing it. If you got it, you would stop doing it, right?
His videos 12, 2, 3, 5, and 6. That's crazy, dude.
most annoying people imaginable when it comes to, pushing things. Annoying people. And I also understand that I'm probably one of the most annoying people imaginable.
That's a crazy.
Self-alert. Isn't that crazy work? Where he's like, listen, guys, I'm aware this is really, really annoying. And it's been done to death. But I'm going to do it anyway. Because I really need to sell this coffee. I really, really do.
Who says that?
When it comes to, pushing things, like my coffee or, the amazing Trump cookbooks now that have...
The amazing Trump cookbook.
Becomes an ad.
Listen, man, not everything needs to be political. When it comes to the point where our cookbooks are political, maybe it's gone too far. Do you know what I'm saying? Our cookbooks have to be blessed by Lord Trump himself? And, we can't even feed ourselves without making it about Trump.
But the sentence is so much crazier because he's like, I know I'm annoying when I'm pushing our great cookbooks, the MAGA style, now with 120 recipes.
Also, it's an apolitical coffee company, but he's shilling the Trump cookbook.
Yeah, what the fuck?
Come on. No, these are totally different. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm going to be surely lining up to buy Anita Sarkeesian's coffee. We all know it's not political at all, right?
Trump cookbooks now that have 120, over 100 recipes, things like that.
Bro, that's a charity. So, the reality of it is, any recipe you want, you can find online now.
Yeah.
So many recipes for any fucking dish. Or you could buy an actual cookbook.
It's a novelty item. It's novel.
This is a novelty item. He's asking you to part with your money for a charitable cause, which is his political grift. That's what he's
Spencer's
asking.
Gifts.
That's not a real business.
Yeah.
It's not a real business. It's a charity.
But also kind of the people that come after me are so deranged and so weird. I never really understand their tactics. So last week I told you about this Twitter dork that sent in fake.
By the way, if the tactics were so weird and retarded and they're dorks, why would you make a whole dedicated video about it?
About how you're under attack.
It means it's
almost
working.
Like, I wouldn't be surprised if he was writing these bad reviews against him himself.
Yeah.
So that he can make a video grifting off of it. Because that's ultimately, it's like this victim mentality. We're being oppressed. Please buy our stuff. Please, guys, we're being silenced. It gets to the point where I start to get skeptical because these are all.
If you have a founders pack, by the way, you're getting.
If people went so hard on the founders pack, why are you still shilling it? Couldn't you just be happy that everybody went so hard on the founders pack?
Yeah, your video should be like, you sold a lot of
Obviously,
founders packs.
Obviously, people didn't go that hard on the founders pack.
How many do you think he sold for real? 80.
I bet. Yeah, that's about what I was gonna say. Maybe 100.
Yeah, 80 to 100.
The email. You should be getting an email today about when they're coming.
By the way, did you hear that, Ashton? Listen to this.
If you have a founders pack, by the way, you're getting the email. You should be getting an email today about when they're coming.
What?
Why wouldn't we immediately know when we purchase? So what you're saying is, instead of just going to the store and getting coffee, or just picking a 2-day Amazon Prime coffee and sending it to our house, we have to purchase coffee sight unseen, not knowing when it's going to come to our house, and spend $100 on it, not even knowing when we're going to get. Like, how out of touch are they? Like, this is crazy.
This is like a comic book sale. Like how people sell comic
Who the fuck has money for this?
No,
I'm serious. Like, you have to be like a very specific person in order to buy this coffee pack. You have to be somebody that has $100 to just light on fucking fire, who also loves the quartering so much that you're willing to light that $100 on fire for quartering. You have to worship Trump and be like, it's a very small market, and he wonders why it doesn't sell.
But wait, it's not even like you buy it and then it's like, okay, it's gonna be here in like a month. We're gonna email you in 2 weeks the date it'll be sent.
Sounds like you don't have this business figured out at all.
No,
and it might just be best to cut your losses and use your successful business to pay down your debts and move on.
Ash.
But oh no, it's down to the average consumer, the average viewer of these videos, people who might be living paycheck to paycheck, and they're being extorted, being told Jeremy's going to be homeless, he's having to sell all his stuff, your favorite YouTuber, unless you give him $100 for this coffee.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying? Like, it's fucking slimy. This guy's a multi-millionaire with private planes, and we're talking about how you, the viewer at home, have to bail him out of his bad decision. Why?
Yeah.
They should be shipping. Maggie, when are they shipping?
He doesn't even know. He doesn't even know when his own coffee is shipping.
Holy shit.
Yeah, we have a few items we're waiting on, but when are they shipping?
Still waiting for all of right.
Yeah.
She goes, we're still waiting for all our inventory.
So you don't even have inventory.
No.
What is going on?
Wait, what?
We have a few items we're waiting on, but pretty soon. But I get it. I know people get.
This is like a video game being released. Oh, we have to delay it, or a comic book. Like, no, this is coffee, bro.
Annoyed with the constant. Oh, Meta PCs, promo code Rumble. Oh, But what I've always wanted to do is build at least one thing that could make.
How much money is enough? Like I mean, really, how much money is enough to complain about Disney 5 times a day?
Yeah.
Like, the ad revenue is not enough. The Meta PC is not enough. The other sponsor, the coffee business, the subscriptions to the website, like the super chats, the super stickers, like the monthly donations. Like, when is enough enough? Like, I need to expand it to be bigger. And, like, for what purpose, bro? Like, this is crazy.
Yeah, it's just greed.
Maybe sustain my family outside of YouTube.
By the way, sustain your family. Like, when you were
sustain your family.
He was making at least $20K a week on YouTube. At least minimum. That's like if people see one ad per video, maybe even 30K a week, and you can't handle 120K to make 5 webcam videos? It's not like there's like HD cameras.
I've just
and
received word from Josh Moon that he will be receiving his coffee brand coffee, and he will be reviewing.
We'll watch the review on the show. Shout out
Josh
Josh
is
Moon.
going to review his coffee brand coffee. He got his email of when it's going to arrive. Now, I don't think he got the founder pack, so I don't know what's the update for the founder pack people, but he's going to compare that coffee to this brand of coffee he does. See here.
Rifle?
Cafe Bustelo.
Okay, cool. I'm excited for that. Did he buy the freeze-dried strawberries too?
I don't think he bought the freeze-dried strawberries, to be honest. No.
Which is why I started, Coffee Brand Coffee, which is why I called it Coffee Brand Coffee instead of calling him
By the way, Josh Moon, I was watching his show. He had this segment on quartering, and he said the funniest thing. He goes, chat, type out Coffee Brand Coffee in Google. There was like 20 search results before you see even quartering's thing. Like,
by the way, so he didn't get the Founders Pack. So the Founders Pack supporters are still out in the cold. But he got the Ultra Dark Roast. He messaged Jeremy asking for a recommendation. Jeremy recommended the Ultra Dark Roast.
Ooh.
So we're going to find out. My guess as to how this coffee is going to be is very average.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think it's going to be shit, but it's not going to be worth like paying 3 or 4 times the regular price.
Yeah. And you're not going to reorder it because when you buy coffee,
Is that a sticker of quartering?
Yeah.
Liberal Tears blend and then just cashing out, buying, owning the production lines and things like
understand what you are. It would have made more sense to do Liberal Tears coffee.
Mm-hmm.
You're not going to compete with the giant coffee companies on Amazon. You're not going to have a better supply chain than them. This is fucking delusional. Just sell your audience what they want. All they wanted was leftist Tears coffee as a gag gift. Do it as a drop ship, option, and just collect money. Like, seriously, like, I don't know.
TikTok Conspiracy has gifted 5 subs. And JoJo stand for a sub, Roboto for a sub, and Big Bowls for a sub. Let's fucking go. Big support today.
Spasticus Autisticus, great name
let me just get
for a sub as
We
well.
have one more, and I'm sure we'll hit it because you guys are awesome. Let me just go new here.
BF234 for 5 subs.
Trying to see.
Let's go. Big support. Thank you. How about this, folks? Here, I'll give you a little prize. If we hit the goal in the next 30 minutes, I will show the RTU parody card for the video game.
And Hand of God Gaming
That's
for
pretty
a
good, right?
sub. We'll see.
Do they want to see the RTU? It's really funny. I think
Strong like bull. Subscribe.
All right, guys. So,
all right.
Here, hang on 1 second.
Because we gotta get.
I know,
like,
we're
we have
so
so much content. We went way too long on sticks, but
I have to.
The thing is, I had to because I knew we would go long on. I knew I had a lot to say, so I trimmed out some of Sticks' stuff. Like 'cause there was just a lot of it, but a lot of it was really repetitive and low energy in the Stick segment.
Look, we might not have to do the DSP versus Dave. We don't even know.
It's like that. This is always the goal, so that. I didn't want. Everyone does like drop ship coffee. I'm not going to call anyone out in particular, but it's very easy. I could have went to this company in like New York.
Senile 11 for 5 subs. Big support. Sorry, let me just add that in there. I'll be making the sticker in the background.
And they'll handle everything, right? I tell them, here are the stickers I want on the bag. Give me a Colombian, give me whatever, and I would make $10 a bag, and it would be whatever mediocre coffee that is out there. And I would have made a lot more money doing that. But you don't own anything then. So you spend years cashing out extra money, but you didn't own anything. You don't put any blood, sweat, and tears into it.
Okay. Oh, sorry. Oh, you put the blood, sweat, and just shut the fuck up.
I don't understand then. Like, so if it's about your blood, sweat, and tears and your struggle, Why are you crying so much about your struggle?
What about the struggle of the Disney people you make
chose
fun
to
of
struggle.
quartering?
No, but he chose to struggle. He chose to do it the hard way. And now that he
Uh-oh.
failed, he's asking you, the viewer
That
at
was
home,
strange.
to bail him out to the tune of hundreds of thousands
Oh,
of dollars.
yeah. Oh, your struggle.
I don't get it.
Yeah, this really is mind struggle, right?
You know, yesterday alone, we
Mind coffee.
had 3 people doing cupping here of 6 new blends that were working. So it's like grinding the beans, tasting.
6 new blends? Keep it at like the fucking base.
I don't
like,
know, man. There's somebody in chat said just buy a fucking car wash.
Yeah.
You know, like that's what I would do is I would
buy a
just
McDonald's
buy
or something.
I would buy something in my own local community to fall back on when the grift fails.
I think
You know what I'm
Amaranth
saying?
owns like 10 McDonald's in her area, and she makes $1 million a month off of that.
I don't know. Like, no one asked for this. No one wants this, Jeremy.
Yeah.
It's you forcing this idea that you're this coffee entrepreneur. Like, you would get laughed out of any fucking venture capital meeting. This isn't a real business. This is a joke. They would tell you if you went on Shark Tank or whatever.
Yeah.
They would tell you there's no way to scale this business. You're a cockroach. What's proprietary about this? What about your coffee can nobody else take or steal? And nothing. And then it's like, okay, what happens to this business if you die tomorrow, Jeremy? If you get hit by a bus, what happens? It's dead. Like, this entire business is literally reliant on a YouTube channel pushing ads constantly to their viewers about it.
Yeah.
And they still can't turn a fucking profit. It's a joke.
Buddy, you should just stuck to YouTube ads. Like.
Tasting it, providing feedback, getting it re-roasted. This takes a lot of time. So it kind of broke my heart when people who are, who don't care for me decided that, I've been very honest about, hey, our Mother's Day gift box thing on Amazon is the biggest
I
deal.
like how this is also an
The
ad
Mother's Day
within.
gift box? No, the whole video is just an ad. Your content, sir, it's just an ad. Like, what are we doing?
We usually sell out on our own website,
Broken
but I
heart.
made the huge gamble of putting it on Amazon and making way less money in hopes of finding more people. Well, reviews are extremely
Illusion.
important. And
Are
that's
they,
why I
though?
said, hey,
Like, they're
a
not,
couple hundred
though. The
people have bought it
reason why-
already.
Oh my god, we got to get through this. But I just
All good. No, it's not- I'm having fun.
it's just like, listen. The reason that the reviews don't fucking matter, Jeremy, nobody is going through Amazon and selecting your coffee.
Yeah.
They're not. They're not. It wouldn't matter what the reviews are like. People are seeing it compared to the other brands. It's 3 or 4 times as expensive. Nobody is buying it on Amazon, bro. The only people who are buying your product are people who are already die-hard quartering fans who would buy the coffee even if it was shit scraped off your shoe.
Yeah.
They would. Like that. That's who buys your coffee. It's not the average Joe Blow consumer on Amazon. This is stupid.
Yeah.
Please come back and leave a review. Reviews are important. It's how you rank. It's how, a normie would buy it. I mean, my
buying
coffee is now.
Hang on, let me just, how a normie would buy it? You know how a normie buys it? You type in what coffee you like, you fucking idiot, or read reviews.
Allowed to be, it's shipping free overnight. You used to have to pay $15 on my website.
Right? We gotta wait fucking 3 weeks for your coffee overnight.
Yes.
What do you mean overnight?
Ship it. So it's cheaper than it ever was, and it's coming the same night. Reviews are starting to come in. Then I noticed this 1-star review, and I was like, that's odd because
One review.
really the only people that are
One
Why?
review.
That's
By the way,
odd.
isn't this painting a giant red target telling everybody who wants to troll him to leave a 1-star review? Like, because it bothers him that much. Like, how dumb is he?
Stupid, you're right.
are buying it right now are people who have bought it before or who will hopefully buy it after this video to get their Mother's Day gift out of the way, but to support the channel. I know that the gift box, I know it's on the pricier side. My hope is that with Amazon by next year,
Oh my god. Oh, by the way,
admits that it's outrageously priced.
I was sent one of the new 6. I was sent one of the new 6 flavors he was working on there. There it is, guys.
Coffee.
I'll be able to sell this same box for 15% less money.
This is shameless. He got 96% 5-star, but the 1-star review, he just had to speak on it. This is all an excuse to make this grifting video so he could advertise his coffee again. It wasn't enough that he advertised it on 25 different videos this week. He had to make a whole video that was an ad for it.
Make the same amount.
Coffee, that's so funny.
But I noticed this odd 1-star review where
Odd.
Okay.
Good. Treat yourself and others. The most pretzels are super addictive. What?
AI wrote this.
Is that a grammar error?
everything, everybody look.
Excellent product. Who talks like that?
That's totally real. By the way, it's called Human 44655. you know, is that 5-star review real?
I am a human. Here is my review.
I purchased.
Oh my god!
This is 5. Human. 5.
God, let me see these. Okay.
5. With pictures, so they actually bought it. So I'm like, what the heck? A 1-star review? Let me look at.
He's doxing everyone who reviewed
this. No, but what's in this review is totally legit. By the way, it says very poor value for the money, which even Jeremy admitted his box is on the pricier side. Let me just read this review.
Go.
There are 6 items in the package. Let's just assume the products inside are good quality, because by the way, Jeremy doesn't read the full review. Obviously, we'll not know for sure until Mom opens her present, but I'll give the benefit of the doubt here. The reusable K-Cup adapter, first off, nothing special, but it's nice to include. Doesn't really add much value since a 4-pack of these are under $10. The 2 bags of coffee, medium roast and blueberry cobbler. Note these bags are only 12 ounces and retail for $18 US on the store. This is shockingly expensive for coffee and multiple times more expensive than any other Colombian coffee on the market. Buying them in this prepackaged box is somehow even more expensive than buying them individually.
Whoa.
So this is all legit, and it's actually, in my opinion, in pretty good faith to give him credit.
Well, and by the way, the other reviews were 1 paragraph. This is like a fucking thought out novel.
Then it's the 3 snacks, yogurt-covered pretzels, chocolate-covered coffee beans, and honey
Yogurt,
sticks.
that just sounds
The
gross
pretzels
to me.
and beans,
Yogurt
same
covered
issue as the
coffee.
coffee, just far
Yogurt
too
covered
expensive
pretzels.
for what
I
you
don't
were
know.
getting.
Just sounds gross.
The honey sticks, the same issue, but 100 times worse. There are only 10 sticks at in the package. At my local farmer's market, these are 4 for $1, and you can get a 50-pack at Walmart for $15.
Okay.
All in all, very stingy with the portions for what you are paying. You could put together a comparable package of name brand items for much less and get much more. Upon further questioning, my brother admitted this company belongs to a conservative political YouTube channel he follows, and he bought it to support a political influencer, then went on a very strange tangent that I'd rather not get into. Even if this is a woke leftist, okay, which there's really no indication that they are, what they're saying is true. So this is all just damage control and cope from quartering.
It's not like, fuck quartering, I think his videos suck, therefore the coffee sucks.
And then
wait, here's more. That brings me to my final gripe with this product. The packaging. It comes in a generic branded box that looks like it went through hell. Unsure of how much this was on Amazon's end or what happened before shipping, but I see in other review pictures the box was also damaged, so we were not the only one. Aside from the crumpled damage, the box was fairly worn down. Looks like it had been getting moved around a lot, and it's not my Mother's Day themed.
Wait, it's not even Mother's Day themed? Wait. And it's the Mother's Day pack?
Oh. Inside it has instructions to record the product being opened and post a review printed inside the box. So outside the box, there's packaging open, and there's a paper. It goes, before you open this, fire up the YouTube vid. Are you kidding me?
Right.
Okay. Very tacky and confusing package for an item intended to be gifted to your mom. I went to the website. The inside of the box is begging you to leave a review. And the chocolate-covered beans were listed at $13 individually. In this box, you were effectively paying $20 each for the 5 items, one of which is roughly $3 worth of honey sticks. Plus the black branded cardboard box and cup adapter thrown in. If the presentation was much nicer, or the portions were larger, or the price was lower, I can maybe forgive some markup. However, I am leaving a 1-star review on this item for the very low value of products you're getting for $100. I ended up giving my brother half, but insisted we would be repackaging this item in a proper gift bag before giving it to mom. And he will need to check in with me before any more split gift purchases in the future. Very disappointed, as I feel he was manipulating into purchasing an overpriced product by an online influencer.
I mean, this is a real review, isn't it?
Beyond.
This is a very credible review. I don't know.
It's not like a troll review. It's like very like, whoa, buddy. So the brother goes, don't worry, sis. I got the present. There's this guy selling these boxes for mom. You buy the box, and she goes, listen, we're going to have to repackage.
I mean, maybe it is an A-log, maybe it is a troll or a leftist, but the thing is, the points that they're making are true, so I don't even really know if it matters. Anyway, let's see how Jeremy's under attack. He got a bad review.
This is crazy.
Then look at this thing they wrote.
Yeah.
All this long, and then they gave it a 1-star, and guess what? What a coincidence. This person is not a verified purchaser.
Neither were the ones who reviewed your 5-star.
Some of them were, but a lot of them
Not
weren't.
all, though.
I mean, look at the kind of reviews this person leaves. Product engineering fail. Not a good idea. No idea why this product is sold as a dog leash. I absolutely would not trust this item to hold up to a large dog. The handle's too flimsy.
So wait a minute.
Well, look at the other reviews.
But wait a minute. But that is a verified purchase.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well, look at
it's
this.
like, okay, listen, here's what I'll say. Most people don't leave positive reviews. It's more common to leave a negative review, isn't it?
Yeah.
I don't.
But my
if you
girlfriend-
have a bad experience, you're more likely to give a review.
Mm-hmm.
And asked if the leash was for the dog or for her, so at least it'll get some use. Like, what? He writes this whole...
By the way, hang on. Watch this. He's left 5 stars. Changed my life for a fucking fence that...
Yeah.
Love these. Like, 5 great mouse.
I don't know. But what's it's like? Why does this one person's review matter to you that much?
You know? Yeah.
leaves. This
Weird.
so at least even ran it through Grok. Here's what Grok said. I said, does this, review look suspect? Here's what Grok said.
Okay.
We're asking AI whether a review is suspect.
Listen.
This guy did Disney stop making movies? Like, why is this one of the 5 videos that we get in a day?
Save me, Elon. My Grok is so mid, by the way. It's terrible. I'm not
A few elements could raise questions about the authenticity when scrutinized. The pricing math, $20 per item for 5 items, seems slightly off over the oversimplified $100 for a package with 6 items. Might suggest an exaggeration.
Okay, the guy was off by a buck or two.
Quartering, how about you give us an actual breakdown then and prove that it's not overpriced? You can't because it is.
Yeah, what the fuck?
Price or lack of precision. The mention of the company being tied to a conservative political YouTube channel feels oddly specific and could hint at a fabricated or exaggerated detail to push a narrative.
But it is true though. Because you are a conservative YouTube and it's tied to you. That's not like pushing a narrative. It's like, yeah, he's a conservative guy who owns it.
Though it's not implausible. The review is also quite long and polished for a casual user. it might suggest that it was written with
You
extra
have
care
to
or intent.
write your review like a mouth-drooling card for it to be considered real. Okay. I didn't like it. Then it's like this person's a retard. So there's no winning with Jeremy.
Ash, this video is crazy. I don't think you know what you've stumbled on, man.
That's exactly what this review did. Now I reported it.
Are you?
What do you reported the review?
Wait, what do you mean you reported the review?
Oh man.
One low review and you're reporting it?
Who knows if Amazon will remove it or not? But this is why I'm so like this review is bad enough to tank our score. Like,
okay, guys, he is giving trolls the number one thing to ruin his mental state.
I know. What is wrong with him?
God, oh my God, you're so dumb. You're so dumb,
He's
Jeremy.
so in favor of free speech, by the way, that he reports you for giving an opinion on his product.
That's crazy.
That's why verified reviews. Look at this. My younger brother excitedly presented this as a gift purchase for my mother's birthday in 2 weeks. Asking for, so you bought it for your mom's birthday, even though it's a Mother's Day box.
Okay. I'm gonna snap. I'm actually gonna lose my mind.
Is this guy okay? This is so wild, bro. Like,
this is the craziest thing I've ever
such
seen.
a
Like ever.
stank face, bro. Like he's fucking rattled.
I gotta find this video for the comments.
How does this beat the? It's on his channel. It was I think 2 days ago. It's called Woke Tries to Destroy Family Business.
Oh, is that what it's called? Jesus.
Now watch. This is how I know it's a lie. This is why I'm asking people to, for my birthday, which is tomorrow, to pick up their Mother's Day gift box. And when
Wait, he's asking you for his birthday.
Alex.
No way. No way, buddy.
This is crazy.
Whoa. He's like, listen, my birthday's tomorrow, and the best thing you can do for my birthday is buy my coffee, please.
But isn't it? This is really.
This is a Phil level grift, bro.
What's the video? Oh my God, he posts so many fucking videos, bro. Oh my God.
get it, take a picture, leave a review. Or if you don't want the Mother's Day gift box, pick up any of our other coffee and, take a picture, leave a review. And so first of all, here he says it's for the birthday, right? At first I had trouble believing this actually costs $100, which led me to the product website and ultimately here. Indeed, it is what you get for $100. There are 6 items in the package.
Now, Quartering always complains about doxing, how if you say his real name, it's doxing. But do you notice that he has, like, his city and postal code and his wife's name just openly displayed on this page? So how can you really... Because the guy will lose his mind if you say his name is Jeremy Hambley. Even though it's like... he's actually gone by that on business correspondence and like public stuff.
I think he deleted the video, dude.
No, it's in there. I had trouble pulling it up there earlier today. Hold on, I'll pull it up.
Woke coffee attack. I can't find it anywhere.
I'll get it.
Okay. Well, yeah.
Let's assume the
but there's
package,
something else.
indeed, it is what you get for $100.
By the way, the Grok thing said, he said 5 items, right? But it was 6 items of the mask off. But no, in the review it says 6 items.
It's right
There
here.
are 6 items.
Grok is fucking wrong. Like, why would you trust that? Like, you have to always...
It's woke psychos try destroying local business for being conservative.
Okay.
Which I thought the coffee was apolitical, by the way.
Oh, yeah, I know. Yeah, exactly.
A lot of people...
Let me just see this real quick.
Look at the title. Just show them the title.
It's
unhinged. Woke psychos try destroying local business for being conservative, and it backfires. So, like, psychos, this is one review. Where is the plural?
Look at this. Bro, number 1 of the of a rule of the internet. Never feed the trolls. One bad review. People are destroying my business. Wait. Jeremy sells coffee?
When did this happen, and why doesn't he ever talk about it? Jeremy, from someone who runs a multi-million-dollar company, stop worrying about 1 or 2 reviews that are bad. I'm not worried about one negative review. Proceeds to make an entire video about a negative review. Bought your coffee, didn't like it.
Was just personal thing, not my bag. Gave it to my nephew.
This guy underneath nails it, by the way. Me as a fellow business owner, first time. There will be more, especially now since you featured it. Just warning you. Love you, Jeremy, but this is thin gruel for a video. You already put too many ads in your videos. So this is about you, and you wonder why you annoy people. Because the title is meant to make you think it's like some small conservative bakery that refused to bake cakes for a homosexual couple, and now they're... you know what I mean?
Wait, look at this guy. Gotta love how much time liberals have. But Quarry made a video about this.
Coffee is way too expensive. The cookbooks are cringe.
Very
Local
true.
business to followers out of state and that are worldwide for a business that guarantees delivery outside of the U.S. It's not a local business. This is bullshit.
Yeah. This is an advertisement pretending to be news.
I am a fan of your content, but this type of thing encourages me to make a 1-star review because of you crying about a bad review, deserved or not.
Very funny. We get it. You sell coffee, but geez, we don't need an entire video about it on top of the constant plugs you do every video. Bad reviews are part of being a business owner. Can you not please everyone? Good God, more coffee shilling out. The gaslighting is strong in you. This is all his comment. I didn't even hit anything. I didn't even hit new or anything.
I can't believe he fed the trolls and made a whole video about this guy. You made a video as a commercial dislike.
This
video really didn't need to be made. I'm not gonna lie, your coffee does kind of suck and it's overpriced. So tired of hearing about coffee, so close to unfollowing. I mean, there are positive comments in here, but there are just as many negative ones.
Yeah.
This is another clickbait video, which is actually a 10-minute ad for your coffee. If only comments are all positive, it isn't true.
Gosh.
Just ask the quartering that shows the dislikes for other sites.
All right.
Reviewer isn't wrong. That is indeed a lot for a little. I don't care how you spin it. That's like a $35 box deal, maybe. Felt.
If you increase the portions. I just got a bag of your ground coffee that's butterscotch flavored. It's seriously the best coffee. There's a positive one. All right.
There's one.
Dude writing his own review. Dude is writing his own reviews like they're calling Human 4463. This is actually, I'm surprised.
It's not, Jeremy. That review seems genuine. You really made an entire video over a single negative review? Not a good look.
No, you turned a story into an excuse to advertise your coffee. Very funny stuff.
Items in the
How
package.
does this go on for longer? All right, just let him
Let's
go
go,
for a
let's
bit.
go, let's go.
Let's assume the packages inside are good quality. Obviously, we'll not know for sure until Mom opens her present, but I'll give the benefit of the doubt here. No, you won't. You left me a 1-star review, you asshole. Right? You left me a 1-star review. You didn't even try the coffee. The reusable K-cup adapter, first, is nothing special, but it's nice to include. Fair. It is nothing special. Doesn't really add much value since a 4-pack of those are under $10. It does add value because if you're giving a gift, now you can know that the person who gets it actually, you know, if they don't have a K-cup, if they only have a K-cup machine, they can still use the coffee. That's the whole point of it. I'm not selling the K-cup adapter. It's like a free add-in.
All right.
The 2 bags of coffee, medium roast and blueberry cobbler. Note, these bags are only 12 ounces and retail for $17.99 on the store. This is shockingly expensive for coffee.
It
and
is,
multiple times more expensive than any other Colombian coffee on the market. That's verifiably false also. Buying them in this prepackaged box is somehow more...
Like, I mean, there might be a coffee that's more expensive, but just because there's one coffee that's more expensive doesn't mean that there's a multitude of options that are less expensive that are better.
What is it, the 12-ounce price?
This is... Bro, why is he seething this bad?
Like, I don't even know. Like, what the fuck is he
Expensive
talking?
with buying them individually. That's because the box itself
It's
costs
pretty much the same price, by the way.
me more than $5 to print because I buy them in America. The three snacks.
All right, their point is, so it's like the same price, but when you buy it in a box, it should be a little bit cheaper because you're buying the box, right? You're buying in bulk, basically.
Yogurt covered pretzels, blah blah blah, are even
Yeah, and then he
worse.
said-
There's
but
not
he
enough
said
honey
that
sticks.
the cake- Did it die? It died.
Did it?
It's
No.
okay. It died for 1
For
second.
1 millisecond?
Yeah. But he said that the add-on, the K-Cup, whatever the fuck, was a free add-in, so there is only 5 items in the box then.
Yeah. Okay, it was like a 1 second right there.
In a package at my local's farmer's market, there are 4 for $1. You can get a 50 pack at Walmart for $15. Again, why didn't you go do that?
Wait, so they're right. then.
So you're admitting that you don't have a good value proposition.
Well, it was the brother
And
who
also-
bought it, by the way.
yes, that's his story. It wasn't him.
Yeah, it was the brother, like, who bought it.
But again,
Are we not allowed to hate his coffee?
upon questioning my brother, he admitted the company belongs to a conservative political YouTube channel that he follows, and he bought it to support a political influencer, then went on a very strange tangent I'd rather not get into. There is all the evidence. This is why I reported it.
What? Well, none of that's untrue. Like, you
Yeah,
are
report.
a political influencer. You are a conservative influencer. Like, I don't know. Like, let's just say this for instance. Let's say there's a brand of coffee called Coffee Brand Coffee that's owned by George Soros. Do you think it would be relevant to let people know it's owned by George Soros or not? You know, like, you know what I mean? Like, it's hard to separate when you're as political as Quartering is, right?
Yeah.
It's very hard to separate the politics from this
Yeah.
product. You know what I'm saying?
The review was deleted?
What a disaster.
What a fucking bitch, bro.
I mean, if you think this review is bogus, I think, I understand why people are reporting. Like, this is such bullshit, and it's going to hurt my company because it gets displayed prominently
would
at the
it?
top of the product reviews now. This person didn't buy the product. He isn't the verified purchaser. He's a leftist, and he thought, I
How
don't
do
like
you
that. I
know?
bought it from a...
Hold on. How do you know he's a leftist? For all you know, he could be like conservative, libertarian, could be anything.
Yeah.
He could be an apolitical troll for all you fucking know. But he has to be a leftist because he brought up that the product is associated with the conservative YouTube. I don't know, man. It's a bit of a stretch.
conservative, so I'm going to write this super Reddit-y review about it. That brings me to the final gripe with the product, the packaging.
What,
It comes in a...
Quartering telling other people they're Reddit?
Yeah,
Excuse
I know,
me?
right?
Excuse me?
Buddy,
Are
come
you-
on.
Don't you have a Funko Pop collection, sir?
generic branded box. What do you mean generic? It's custom printed. It's not generic. So it looks like it went through hell. Well, that's not on me. That's Amazon shipping, bud. Unsure how much this was on Amazon's end or if it happened before shipping, but I see other review pictures of the box was also damaged. I saw one picture of that in which we reached out and we're like, we'll give you a new box, and the
So
customer
wait a
said, nah,
minute.
dude.
So wait a minute. You're admitting that this problem did exist?
Yeah.
So obviously, how would this guy know about it if he never touched the product?
Yeah. Ooh.
Come on, Quartering. Come on, bro. You're making this too easy, Jeremy. Come on, man.
Dude, it's cool. And again, we didn't even have to do that. That's Amazon.
Buddy, this coffee is going to not sell shit. This
He's
is the
doing
biggest...
more damage to his own business by doing this video than if he wouldn't have.
Mm-hmm.
That's what's crazy.
And this is
Yeah, I
a
don't-
money pit, bro. This is a money pit.
It's fault. I went to the website inside the boxes begging you to leave a review. And the chocolate
It
covered
is!
beans were listed at this individually. I don't like the value. I ended up giving my brother half, but insisted we'll be repackaging this item in a proper gift bag, giving it to mom. And he will need to check with me before we split any more gift purchases in the future. very disappointed as I feel he was.
I'm glad this coffee business is tanking. Like this is fucking.
It's just absolutely seething.
Yeah, this is too much.
I'm doing really good here.
About one review.
We might
crazy,
win
dude.
this level here.
Manipulated into
If I
purchasing
can
an
keep this up.
overpriced product from an online influencer. Does anybody in chat think that this dickwad actually bought my product?
By the way, like, is he not allowed to review Disney movies and give it a bad review?
Yeah, wait.
Because he'll cry like that this is taking food out of his mouth and ruining his business, but doesn't he ever think about the poor production assistant on Little Mermaid or whatever the fuck?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm talking about? Like, this
Yeah.
is just retarded. So nobody's allowed to do negative reviews other than him.
Yikes.
He mentions absolutely nothing in this review that he could not have gleaned from the product photo.
No, that's not true.
It says,
He pointed out the issue about the box being fucked up that you admit that one other customer had. So, you know, how could he know about that if he never touched the product? Doesn't make sense, bro.
we asked for a review.
Well, can't you only review if you bought the product too, by the way?
Well, it's not a verified review.
Oh, I
right?
see. I see.
So if it's if it's
Yes,
the person
I
that
can't
bought it, it'd
resurrect.
be verified. He's
Cool.
saying his
Oh,
brother
okay.
bought it, and that's why, yeah.
'Cause this
Fair
is one of
enough,
the
fair
few
enough.
times in
everybody,
my
there's nothing
review
wrong, right?
didn't
He
kill the mom or
sells
the
himself
my review.
out. And then now look what happens
That
when you go to
mean-
the reviews. When you look at the
Oh,
reviews,
the Doing
it
Resurrection.
says,
I mean, like human 4.
Got reviews on the brain because I'm thinking about them.
oh, it's not showing this time, but it shows prominent. Oh, if I go to reviews, maybe this one, it gave like top reviews and then like.
By the way,
So wait a minute. This problem he's complaining about, it doesn't even exist. He can't even replicate it.
yeah. Oh, look at this. 36 reviews? Buddy.
So nobody's buying this.
No.
That's my point about this, is nobody is just stumbling upon this on Amazon and buying it. These
Yeah.
are already, the only people buying this are quartering fans who are buying it because it's the quartering. And they're not going to be influenced by any one-star review. They're going to buy it because it's the quartering's coffee.
Yep.
Top negative reviews.
Yeah, hang on. What's this called? What's this called? This, what's the thing called? Hang on.
Wait a minute, it's kosher? Whoa, buddy.
Hang on, I'll rewind it. Hang on. What was the
product
actual
called?
product
You gotta
called?
go back. It's the Mother's Day coffee gift box, coffee brand coffee 003.
Okay.
Medium roast, blueberry coffee. Like,
Okay. Because
it really rolls off the tongue.
Okay. Because someone said.
Oh, it's not showing this time, but it shows prominent. Oh, if I go to reviews, maybe this one.
Check the
Helpful is if people
reviews.
picked up their Mother's Day gift box. Yes, it is on the pricey side, but it's just me. I'm not drop shipping it. Like, we literally hand packed these boxes.
That's not our problem.
It's not my problem. Yeah.
We as the consumer,
You know, a
we don't
lot of-
give a fuck that you hand packed it. All I care about, do I brew the coffee? Does it taste good? Does it get me caffeinated? That's it. Is it at a reasonable price point? Those are the three things I care about as a consumer. I don't care that you hand packed it into a box because you don't have an assembly line. Like, that's not my problem, bro.
We hand pack every box. This isn't from China.
I don't give a fuck.
This guy's trying to smear my business.
Who cares?
And again, he's not even a verified reviewer. I reported it, but who knows? Maybe if like 100 people report it, it'll get taken down. But he's very,
Oh my god.
very obviously.
This is what's crazy is it's like, just because you're able to make YouTube videos doesn't mean you can run a coffee business.
Yeah.
These are like delusions of grandeur. Like me thinking because I'm a fat fucking guy who can talk obnoxiously online that I'm going to be the next fucking Michael Jordan and sell sneakers. You know what I'm saying? This is delusional shit.
This is actually insane.
Giving me a negative review because he doesn't like my YouTube channel. My entire business's growth depends on selling out of these Amazon box on Amazon. I'm not worried about selling out on our
So
ground
what's
coffee.
crazy is
Hopefully we'll
when
get.
your entire business is dependent on one guy's review, maybe you shouldn't be in that business, eh, bud?
Yeah. This is proof his business is dying, by the way. It is. Because it's like, oh, it's tanking the reviews. Listen, if one review tanks
Well, I
the
got a lot of
reviews,
goodies this
that's
time.
bad.
So that's good.
get to 1,000 reviews by my birthday tomorrow, or we'll get to
1,000 reviews. Ash, there's 38 still. Not one single new review has popped in.
1,000 reviews on our K-Cups. Like, if you buy our K-Cups on Amazon, I've already put them on sale. They're 15% off, 10% off. But a review
So
this
wait,
negative,
they're regularly even more expensive?
Yeah.
Okay.
early, is gonna hurt my sales. So I'm hoping, if you're in the market for your Mother's Day gift box, I know it's a little early. Mother's Day is a month away, but please do leave a review. Buy it. Don't leave a review without buying it. Buy it. Leave a review. Take a picture. Leave a review. Review the product. I know a lot of you have already had a lot of these products. I know this is a great product, but this dick is if Amazon leaves that review on, that's gonna hurt my sales.
It's just so pathetic.
So, read my negative review then. There's only one negative review.
What happens, though, by the way, if people try it and don't like it? Are you going to say they're liars?
Yeah. That's a good question.
Review, but only a 5-star review. God forbid you leave a 4-star or lower review. Holy fuck.
These people are losers, and I wouldn't even be addressing it because it's only going to lead to.
People? Wait a minute, hold on. These people, it's one guy, and you won't be addressing it, which you've just done a 15-minute video on. So you did address it in the most over-the-top theatrical crybaby way you could.
Of course he did.
One review said the coffee smelled like cat pee. Yikes!
These people are losers, and I wouldn't even be addressing it because it's only going to lead to more unverified people trying to do this. That's why if people
yes,
pick it up, it's roasted like literally hours before we ship it. You're not.
I don't believe that.
You know what I mean? I don't believe it, bro.
That's a lie.
It's like the best ever, but he doesn't even know when it's gonna ship. He's asking his wife, but it's roasted just mere hours before being shipped out. You don't have the volume for that.
I don't see how he does. It makes no sense to me.
You're not getting anything old. We ship in small quantities to Amazon, so you're getting,
if that review is so bad, then everything that they're saying on their show, he should be absolutely ticked about.
The best quality.
Canadian leftists are attacking my show.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what I guess what he's depending on is the ignorance of the consumer. Yeah.
Do you even believe this? This is the craziest video.
I know that's probably all the coffee wine you can take. That's fair, but it's important to me, and I get that it's not important to everybody who watches my channel and for the news and stuff like that. So
to anybody.
I get it. I'm not mad.
No one gives a fuck, bro.
This whole video was a trick.
When you get mad about
it. Trick you into thinking that some bakery was being forced to bake the cake for gays or trans accommodation at a local business. That's what you would think, right? You would think, they're forcing a local spa to wax a trans person or whatever, right? Or they're forcing the Christian baker to bake the cake for a trans. No, it's Jeremy's own coffee business got one bad review.
And it's not even like this guy likes Trump and like some liberal shit.
But when somebody leaves a 1-star review and admits in it that they didn't even buy it, why are they leaving the review?
That's disingenuous. It's so disingenuous.
I know.
Jeremy.
It was a fucking.
I believe that this person's review is completely motivated by the fact that he's a leftist and he doesn't like my content. I know that right now it's only one negative.
Every positive review is based on you being right wing and the viewer being right wing.
Okay, you know what I'll do,
you know
Jeremy?
What I'm saying?
I'll buy it myself so it's verified, and then I'll review it.
No, but your review isn't good though because you're woke.
Yeah,
or
no,
I'm gonna
give you a nice review. Don't worry, Jeremy.
Gonna cry about everybody.
Oh, good.
Review, but that's what I'm saying. People who get this Mother's Day gift box, hopefully they'll get yours today. I know it's early. I'm gonna give everyone a break on pushing it probably next week.
By the way,
but if you get
how merciful, sire. Wow, you're going to give us a break? What, you're only going to shill it 4 videos a day instead of 5, your majesty? What, you aren't going to make a clickbait fucking video that's just a bait and switch?
I'm going to give you a break.
Thank you, my liege. Thank you. How about I just don't watch your shit or buy anything from you ever again?
Get it?
They don't sell to Canada? Aw, damn.
Once you get it,
This is crazy, dude.
please do leave a review.
All right, everyone leave a review.
and you know, video review would be even better.
No.
I know there's probably reviews pending because Amazon.
Pause. I just think that that's demented, and then we're going to move on. But imagine telling your audience, who are very anti-woke, very staunch, outspoken conservatives,
to reveal their face.
To reveal their face and potentially expose themselves to getting reported at work or at school. That's not good, Jeremy.
Yeah, no, that's
like,
crazy.
I'm sorry, buddy. Like, people shouldn't have to put their livelihoods on the line for your $99 coffee, bro.
That's not cool.
That's just selfish of him. That's bullshit.
This is against Amazon TOS, is it?
Dox
I know a lot
yourself for my coffee. Yeah, by the
People
way, is
said
this even in accordance with TOS?
I don't think so. I don't think you can make a video like it's crazy.
They did video reviews and stuff like that, and I don't see them in there yet. But I'm not worried about that one negative review. I just want to flood a bunch of, you know, I want a lot of people.
What? He just admitted to brigading.
I'm not worried about.
Listen to this.
That one negative review. I just want to flood a bunch of, you know, I want a lot of people to buy the box and leave a review because, you know, an honest review, not one that they just, you know, because they hate me.
Which, by the way, so somebody just brought up, Turtle Dude brought up, if you try to write a review, you get a page that says Amazon has noticed unusual reviewing activity on this product. Due to this activity, we have limited this product to verified purchase reviews. So whether that's quartering faking reviews or whether that's negative reviews or what the fuck's going on, at the end of the day, quartering your issue is now solved because it's now only down to verified purchases. So
Yeah.
maybe it's time to stop crying about the woke mob, bro.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you all for coming out, New Year's Eve. Tonight is the culmination of a 42-year career of spreading laughter to people across the world, people like you.
All right. I think that's it for tonight, y'all.
To Dancing with the Stars.
See you later.
To more shows than one person can count. There's definitely one for the books. So everyone.